Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom!
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
Good morning. Welcome in to another edition of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. No Carmichael Dave again today. Down and out with the sickness. Yeah, hopefully a speedy recovery for Dave. Got the, we talked a couple times yesterday, and I don't know what bugs got him, but he's got something.
He kicked me right in the dingle.
I think that's what happened. And Chris, you and I were talking yesterday. It's like, well, Dave's got a temperature yesterday, so I mean, look, you want him to get better, but you and I were both kind of thinking, well, I mean, I kind of want him back tomorrow, but I kind of want to make sure.
Don't want to get sick from him.
Exactly. So texted me last night, and we talked yesterday, but when he texted me last night, he's like, I would have to say I'm probable, feeling much better. I said, good. Then got the text early this morning that temperature still up, and yeah, at that point I'm like, nope, not good. So no Dave today. I don't know, to be determined on tomorrow at this point.
Just a PSA here.
Yeah.
If you're sick, don't go to work.
It is okay. It's actually better now. Like, I don't even know if it was right before, but I think that was the thing that was done. Like, hey, boy, Chris has never missed a day, but he came to work sick several times. It's like, yeah.
I'll just cut my way through it.
It's not really heroic. I mean.
Oh, now the whole floor is sick? Oh,
yeah.
Man, something must be going on. It's because you came in to begin with.
Hey, I feel good now, though. Oh, great. Yeah, but you got everybody sick. Yeah, that was, I know I'm definitely guilty of that in the past for sure. I mean, I know I never really missed a lot of things like school. I didn't miss much. I didn't really miss many days of work. That's the famous line. I'm never sick. Well, you probably were and have been. Maybe you've just been, maybe you're not as contagious. Maybe you haven't been as bad as others. And, that's always a weird thing, too, on if something goes around a house or a family that, like, wow, you had it, but, man, I got it, like, 10 times worse. You just never know how these things are going to go if you get stronger. That's always been a weird one where I think even at the beginning of COVID, too, you heard stories of that where, I don't know, 5 people in a house and 4 of the 5 got it. You're like, how did all 5 not get it? It's kind of a weird thing.
And then, but sometimes it was, that one person did have it, just didn't have it.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Didn't have the symptoms, didn't know, or asymptomatic, or all that kind of stuff. So anyway, no Dave today. Hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow, if not certainly next week. As we've got a full show as always for you today. We are going to talk as usual on Thursdays with Kelly Brothers, sports business. Today we will find
business.
Yeah, we'll find out if it's good business. Lots of news regarding sports business. We'll actually get into some of that a little bit during the show, too, about college football and the wildness that's going on now with the transfer portal. But just the business that has become, though they always try to deny that it's not a business. It's like, yeah, you guys might be one of the worst culprits at business out there in college football.
Well, Jason, we're not a business because we don't pay taxes.
Oh, good.
So if we were a business, we would pay taxes.
Yeah,
but we're not.
Yeah, and again, scholarships and student athletes and okay. Yeah, we'll get into that today a little bit. Also at 8 o'clock, it's Thursday from The Athletic, your friend and ours, Sam Amick will be joining us today. We'll have Niners at 9. We'll wrap things up, of course, with Styles and Watkins and a little crosstalk and celebrity birthdays. Speaking of Mr. Alan Styles, you and Alan Styles, I believe, are going to be like I don't know if anybody's ever watched a parade, the Thanksgiving Day parade, the Rose Parade. You hear those MCs and hosts, and they take you through the journey of all the different things that are going on. Is this true that you and Alan Styles are hosting our Santa parade?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. I believe so.
I got that call yesterday. Like,
Yeah.
I guess so.
I am really intrigued by your presence in that. I feel like you're going to vamp and do your own thing.
I have no idea what it is.
Uh-huh.
Like
Apparently
I
it's
said,
the 40th year.
like I said to you and Jason, you and Dave last week or the week before, I've only gone to the Santa Parade once. And the only thing that I remembered about it was my mom taking me and my cousin, and we were supposed to go see Home Alone afterwards. But she threw up in the car and we didn't get to see it.
And no chance for the parade. So,
And I've held it against her ever
yes.
since.
So it's, what is that? Yesterday, our reference was Dumb and Dumber. You're older or younger than Dumb and Dumber. When did Home Alone come out?
I want to say
89,
1990.
91? Yeah, okay. I was thinking 89, 90, 91, kind of in that range.
I think it was 90. I think Uncle Buck was 1989 and Home Alone
sounds
was
right.
1990.
Yeah, that sounds about the right timeline for sure. So it's, been 30 plus years in the making.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. That'll be fun. Obviously, our station, Sactown Sports, the Mix as well. They're partners in this Santa Parade going on this weekend. And yeah, you and Alan working together side by side.
So I don't know what this is even going on. Is it on like the internet or is it?
I think it's just for the people that are
Okay.
out at the parade. Yeah. I don't know that it's being brought. I don't know. Honestly, that question.
I think there's a lot
answer.
of questions that need to be answered before
so.
Saturday.
Yeah. But that's cool. And actually, looking for a couple different people from the station. Apparently, a lot of people are excited to do it, which is fun. I had a previous obligation. I'm like, well, if I absolutely have to, I'll see if I can cancel. But I'm glad that you're able to do that, and Alan's able to do that. I think Alan's he just seems like he will roll with that thing.
Oh yeah.
He's just kind of like, bring it on. Let's go. Let's have some fun. And maybe he'll do. Have you heard his Gus Johnson, by the way?
No.
It's a version of Gus Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I've met Gus Johnson, so
You have?
yeah.
Do I know that story?
No, it was a friend of the station, Charles Davis. He was doing the game with Gus Johnson. It was Notre Dame Stanford.
Oh, okay.
And he was nice enough to give me tickets for the game.
Oh, nice.
So my friend and I, we got there early, went up to the booth, saw Gus, saw Charles. It was great.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Gus obviously is pretty iconic out there. So apparently the story that happened the other day, it was just randomly out of nowhere. Alan started to attempt to do a Gus Johnson, like coming out of a break, that Chris Watkins was not aware of. And then he's like, what are you doing? Like, so I think it was more about Chris's reaction to, I'm not sure what you're doing or who you are. So Alan gave it like a 0.5 or a 1 on a 1 to 10 scale of impressions. But now it like became a thing out at the King's Media the other night. And he's now doing this Gus Johnson at the table. And everyone's like, what's he doing? Because it's also one that you kind of have to go off of volume.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could just sneak in and hey guys, I'm trying to impersonate. You
have to go full force.
Yeah. There's the salad. Yeah, can't even do it. Like he was just trying to be Gus Johnson. So ask him.
I remember Gus Johnson soccer, and his go-to was centers it.
Yes.
Off the wing, centers it.
I told you so. This year I did some soccer on the Pac-12 network, and I said, "Yeah, Chris, I found myself saying centers it a lot." And you're like, "Is that a saying?" I go, I don't know. I thought it was. I remember that like playing soccer, but that's 100 years ago.
Yeah, I've never heard that in a broadcast.
The coach would say like center it. And it's probably, so it's never said.
I've never heard it in a broadcast. Like maybe someone has said it, but
yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but if it's not really a popular, I'm trying to think of something you could say in basketball. You probably have heard most things, but maybe most things just get recycled. But if something that was said, you're like, hey, you don't really say that in basketball, but I can't think of something off the top of my head, but that technically makes sense. I mean, you know what they're saying by centers. It puts it right in the middle of the pitch of the field or whatever for an opportunity at a goal. But if it's not a common phrase, then it's not a common phrase.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what basketball would be, because it's something that happens because you're always in soccer, you're trying to score up with the goal all the time.
Yeah.
So if you say centers it, you're literally saying something every single time.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's, to me, is the trick.
Like post up.
Yeah.
Sabonis, post up.
Yeah.
Post up.
Which, yeah, if you're saying it all the time, I think that's, to me, one of the secrets, the keys, the tricks, if you can, to play-by-play is saying the same thing but describing it in a different way using different words.
And the weird in soccer, especially English, like commentators, it's more of you're not really saying what's happening. You're kind of telling the story of the game. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, there's less description in soccer of play-by-play.
Yeah.
As opposed to where the season is, what's going on with it. It's not quite like this, but the analogy of it's almost a talk show with a game in the background.
The sport, I think soccer is television, not like radio, because radio is
you have to be more descriptive.
Yeah,
but that's difficult for soccer.
But television play-by-play, I think soccer and boxing are very similar.
Yeah.
Because like you feel like a build-up, and you feel it like getting higher, like emotion, and then you've got both guys or teams feeling each other out. So then you've got the play-by-play man saying to the commentator, what are they trying to do here? What are they looking for? What's in their head right now?
Yeah. I was thinking you were going to say baseball, but it's not quite the same, because baseball, there may not be as much action, but literally there is something happening when the action, like soccer could be just a bunch of advancing into the offensive third, but really no forward momentum into a good scoring opportunity. Where baseball, it's like, yeah, nothing really happened that inning, but there were outs, there were pop-ups, there were strikeouts, there were ground outs, even though it might take minutes in between. Soccer, that was the hardest part for me, is kind of picking up the level of anticipated excitement on, they've got something going here, and you just, and
he loses it,
and it's going back the other way. Not much. So that's that's the other trick, is trying to not, you want to anticipate, but you don't want to be ahead of the play.
Yes.
And that's difficult in any sport, but you think something's going to happen. And that's where I think sometimes, I know I'm guilty of, is, let's say it's football and there's an anticipation of something like, here's look at it wide open downfield. So there's like an excitement, and then, I don't know, trip, fall, drop the catch. And then you kind of but I guess that feeds into the anticipation.
The
of
weird
excitement.
thing with soccer, especially like going to Europe, and that is the crowd, it almost feels like an organism, because the whole crowd will like reacts to the buildup. So you'll see someone coming up, and they'll make a key pass, and like the crowd understand it, and you can feel like and then like another one, it's like, and then you're getting closer, and people will start to stand up, and like you'll hear the seats like go like up. It's like one of the craziest things I ever witnessed.
Yeah, I love that in an NBA game, where it usually starts with some sort of amazing defensive play. Like maybe the opposing team, especially if we're taking the Kings at Golden One, does like this great ball movement. They get inside, and it's like, oh man, this could be great. And someone comes out of nowhere, steals it or blocks it. And then there's just the movement and the feel of like, wow, that was already a great play, and maybe a quick outlet. Oh my gosh, like what are we getting at the end of this now play? And is it a pass to the corner for a three where the whole building's like, and it's all deflated, or a lob, someone's trailing for a dunk? It's that anticipation's a lot of fun at a sporting event where you feel everybody feeling it. I think those moments are really cool. And I know I've described that before in a game where it's everything's going like that, and then the shot is missed. It's like, you didn't finish the highlight. Like it's there for everybody to go crazy.
That last game with Fox shooting that fadeaway three.
That was a play like that.
And the bad thing where I was, everyone was kind of like, and like as soon as he let it off, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I was like, the only thing that, I'll be pleasantly surprised if you make this, but it's like, I don't think this is the best.
Yeah.
You got Trey Lyles wide open underneath. That's it. That's the fun of this. And I said this before, but one time, and sometimes I think we all need this reminder. Chris, I was doing a game years ago, and someone who had listened to the game told me, you realize how many times you said quick hitter, like that phrase?
Oh, man.
I don't even know that I said that once.
I don't think I've even said that.
Quick hitter? Like it just boom, pass over the middle. And then I listened, and back then, this is how long ago it was on a tape. I taped the game and listened. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's disgusting. I bet I said it 50 times. You're like, and I honestly would have guessed, I don't think I ever said it. And then you listen back and go, do I have anything else to say? Frustrating. But you have to listen to yourself and critique yourself, which is not always fun to do.
I'm perfect, so I don't need that.
Exactly. Good at business. All right, we take the break here. When we come back, we are leading off. That is next.
It's that time of year again. Sactown Sports is welcoming Santa back to town for the 40th annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 9th in downtown Sacramento. Grab the family and join us as we celebrate Santa's arrival with marching bands, superheroes, cheer squads, and more. Parade starts at 10 a.m. at 14th and N. We'll see you Saturday, December 9th in downtown for the Santa Parade with Western Health Advantage, Huft Home Services, and the California National Guard. Get more information at SactownSports.com.
A holiday message from Jackson Hewitt.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to get money the same day.
Starting December 11th, walk into a Jackson Hewitt for an early loan on your tax refund, and you could walk out with up to $1,000.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to get money. Missing out would be great.
Appointments go fast. Book yours now at jacksonhewitt.com. Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
This segment is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
First pitch swinging is Juan Soto, driven opposite field. This one is going to be gone. Another home run for Juan Soto. Crushes it opposite field. His second home run of the night. This one's a 2-run blast. It'll give the Padres a 4-0 lead.
There's a lot of talk and a lot of anticipation about Juan Soto being dealt. He was dealt from the Padres to the New York Yankees. I found this out in a very creative text from Chris Verlaad.
You didn't know before I sent that to you?
Well, it had been like...
There's rumors about it?
Yeah, when I was talking to Frankie yesterday, he was in for the roundtable for the midday show, and he was basically saying, hey, they're saying it's basically like at the half-yard line that's happening, and so he and I as Yankee fans were discussing, and but then, you know, you wait for the... We've had a first and goal before that famously went the other direction, thankfully.
Arson Judge going to the Giants.
Arson Judge. Who put that? Was that John Heyman?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that didn't happen. This one was being reported. Everybody was pointing like it was going to happen, but maybe something falls through at the end. This did not fall through. This does happen. So yeah, I got the official word though from your. It looked like a supportive text. I thought that you sent Frankie and I.
A big thumbs up.
Yeah, I mean that's how I read it. I don't know if there was a different. You were a little upset yesterday. I know about the Yankees getting Alex Verdugo, your favorite Red Sox player, but this one looked like you were pro Juan Soto going to the Yankees.
Oh yeah, they just need every player. They didn't make the playoffs last year, so of course they need to rebuild.
We need to talk about that. That's old news, Chris. This is a classic Yankee move, though, isn't it? In a sense, usually it would be a free agent that, like, oh, let's just pay all of the money to get an outfielder. That's good, really good. But we'll just.
I mean, it's close to a free agent with his.
Well, that's the thing. He's got a year left. Now they got to decide on that. I don't know if it's not a rental. That's not the way they're looking at it. I don't think, because based on the prospects they gave up.
Preview.
But it could be that. It's like, look, we're going to have him for a year and bolster our lineup for sure, and then see if it makes sense for us. I mean, he could be the next future long-term Yankee. The weird thing, I always find this an odd thing, and I don't know where you stand on this, Chris, about players that are as talented as a guy like Juan Soto. This is his third team. He's 25. Like he's been around seemingly forever, but he was in the World Series with the Nationals. I think he was 19. He's 25.
I think the Padres make it weird.
The fact that, I mean, obviously when they traded for him, you're like, all right, this makes sense. The Nationals, I mean, I think a lot of the rationale of his trades makes sense. The Nationals were not going to sign him and not go through it. So they moved on from him, got what they could. Padres were excited. Then they famously get all these players. And then what was one of the things we heard early offseason was, yeah, they had to like basically borrow some money to pay for player. Like they didn't have enough money, which sounds really bad.
And it just was their whole team was just meh.
Yeah. And, you know, even if Bob Melvin couldn't make it work and the fact that they were granting him permission to talk to the Giants, you're like, yeah, he's gone. he's gone. If you're allowing the second you allow someone who is being coveted by another team permission, you're losing that player or coach, in this case, manager. But they had spent on Soto, they had spent on Tatis, they had spent on Bogarts. I mean, they just keep spending and spending and spending, and now they're trying to gut the team a little bit. You Darvish, Blake Snell. I mean, but here's a guy again. 20? Did he turn 25? Yeah, he's already turned 25, and so he's going to play this entire next season at 25 years of age in a short porch in New York. That outfield's much better, but that's why I say it's classic Yankees. Let's just get all these outfielders and again ignore pitching, which is what.
If you get more runs than the other team, pitching doesn't matter.
It's right there. It all makes sense. All right, let's get to cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Ban it. I really, at this point, I don't care. I'm over the discussion about it. And
to be fair, it would just be banning like the push in the back. You got everybody would still be able to run the QB sneak, I think. Yeah.
Well, that's where I'm kind of like, whatever. Just we were really good at running quarterback sneak before we did the push. I don't think that it's a necessary part for it. It certainly helps. There's no question about it. But I think, listen, I don't have the energy to care about whether it gets banned or not.
All right. That is Jason Kelsey, the Eagles center, the brotherly shove, the tush push, whatever you want to call it, has continued to be talked about being banned. He's like, I don't really care anymore. My thought on that, I don't think they should ban it. I think it's a good play. It works. Why should it be banned?
I think it should be banned if every team was doing it and just like nobody could stop it. Like, okay, this is.
But people do stop it. They don't stop Phillies.
And people can't. Yeah, other people haven't come close to
the success.
Phillies,
yeah. So, I mean, they're good at it. They're the best at it. He's the one that's under that pile of humanity. I
think that's why he's just like, go ahead, get Bennett, because I'm getting ran over every single time.
I mean, I really don't know what the carnage is like underneath there. Like you see Jalen Hurts from behind getting on top of the pile of the line of scrimmage, and then literally everybody's shoving, and they get a half yard, 2 yards, whatever they need to get the first down or the touchdown. I think, remember, like when the Wildcat first, like, this seems unfair. You can't. How do you stop this? People figured out how to stop it. Like, you give it an off season.
Don't even see it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare, or people stop doing, like, oh, everybody's going to run this now. Nobody can do anything. Yeah. Defensive coordinators are smart.
Probably what they were saying about the shotgun way back in the day, too.
Right. What is this? He is not under center. Now it's standard. Now I feel like, especially in college, it's so rare to see a quarterback under center. So many times they work from the shotgun or the pistol, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I think this is one where, for the time being, Philadelphia has mastered something that other teams have issues with. I don't think it needs to be banned. I think people need to figure out how to stop it. That's what, I mean, if you had a unguardable receiver, running back that couldn't be stopped, well, he can't play. We're going to ban him. What are we doing? They're good at it. Keep it going, NFL. Defensive coordinators and defenses figure out a way to stop it.
Yeah, don't let them get to 4th and 3.
Exactly. All right, let's get to cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
Iowa State is snatched away by Goodman. Here's Marshall with Clark trailing. History in flight. You bet! Caitlin Clark, 3,000 career points.
Caitlin Clark hits that benchmark number last night for Iowa. Just a terrific player. And one of college basketball's great players, either sport, either men or women, reaches 3,000 points. I love the appreciation now. It's more front and center for women's sports, certainly at all levels, but college as well. And Caitlin Clark has a bright future, if she wants it, in the WNBA, that's for sure, wherever she'd like to play.
If they had the same rules in the WNBA as they do in the NBA, would she still be in college right now?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. And at some point, I feel like if you look at women's college basketball, it is tracking exactly what men's college basketball did. It's just years behind in this sense, not in talent, but for so many years. I mean, I'm going back before I was born, like in the 60s, early 70s, like UCLA won everything. It was always UCLA, John Wood, and UCLA, or maybe one other team. Notre Dame was in there, Houston, Kentucky.
And I'm sure people were saying back then, is this bad for the sport?
Right. And then all of a sudden, oh, there's a couple other teams getting better. Here's this UNLV team. Here's Duke. Here's Louisville. Here's North Carolina. And then now all of a sudden, I mean, it's different teams. UConn, Villanova, Baylor. Different teams can win the national championship. Well, forever, it was either Tennessee or UConn really was the power. Stanford. Now all of a sudden, you're seeing way more of a high volume of teams that compete. South Carolina is a juggernaut. You've got a lot of teams in the women's side, and then better players are spread throughout the country. And then now all of a sudden, the WNBA is getting better. So at some point, there'll probably be someone that files for that or fights that or says, I'm going pro. And no, you're not allowed to do that. Why?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why can't I? So I think at some point that's going to happen. Someone will test those waters. It just hasn't happened yet officially in the WNBA. All right, break time for us. When we come back, we will talk about kind of that college football. The latest there, we know how wild it is with the Final Four, the debate on did they get those teams right, but the business of it, the controversy that always surrounds the sport, and the latest of what's going on with recruiting coming up, and all the movement in the transfer portal. We'll discuss the future of college football. We'll do that next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday, and after a soggy start to the day, expect rain showers to develop for midday and into early afternoon. We'll see a couple of passing showers. A little cooler today with highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents, and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood, like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more, are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
iPhone 15 Pro on Verizon.
It's your last chance to trade in any iPhone in any condition for the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us with Unlimited Ultimate. Go to your local Verizon store now. iPhone requires Unlimited Ultimate plan first. Service plan required for iPad and Apple Watch. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line required first. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit. Up to $459.99 device payment purchase with new line on eligible plan required per Apple Watch or iPad. Less up to $459.99 promo credit per device applied. 0% APR. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Pro Paint Days are back for MVP's Pro Rewards members at Lowe's. Now through December 15th, you can earn 10% back in paint rewards via Lowe's e-gift card when you spend $100 or more on qualifying paint purchases. Plus, save $10 on a new and exclusive 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Drywall PVA Primer and Sealer. Lowe's knows paint. Lowe's knows pros. Offers valid 12/4 through 12/15. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/L/pro loyalty terms. Subject to change.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
As far as your second question, look, Bill Hancock said, it's not the most deserving. He said, simply, it's the best 4 teams. So if you're going to tell me somebody sitting in that committee room and doesn't think that Georgia team, not one of the best 4 teams, I don't know if they're in the right profession, because it's a really good football team. It's a really talented football team. It's a really balanced football team. So, they have to make that decision. But it's the best 4 teams, and that's critical.
That's the voice of Georgia head football coach Kirby Smart. That's the problem right there. That is it. What is the criteria for college football's Final Four? I don't buy that it's the best teams.
If it is, then just have the championship at the beginning of the season.
Right. Why do you have those preseason rankings? That's what people think of the best 4 teams. Oh, then you play the year? And Chris, I'd love to do this example. This would be it, and we could do this exercise if you wanted right now, just off the top of our head without really a lot of research. But let's do this same principle, how this is done, how it's executed in college football in the NFL. What 4 teams right now would you put in the Final Four of the NFL?
Niners.
I know you're not looking at stuff, so I'm just, it's fine.
Niners. I'm trying to think between Eagles and...
You could have 3 from the NFC. You could have 4 from
maybe
the NFC.
Niners, Eagles, Cowboys, Ravens.
Okay. So someone, to me right now, the Alabama of this is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yes.
You're not going to have Patrick Mahomes in your Final Four?
Yeah. Well, not right now.
Okay. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's like, okay, someone else is going, you're crazy. You have to have Mahomes, or you have to have, it's not the Ravens. They didn't beat this team. Why aren't the Lions in there? Exactly. Or whatever. The point is, there isn't a right answer, except for the Niners.
Yeah, that's pretty basic.
I think they should be in. And honestly, if I'm trying to do it, I think I would have Eagles, Niners. I guess if I went off my top 4, I guess I had Ravens and Cowboys. So apologies to the Lions, to the Dolphins, to the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs just lost this last week. Have they won against the Packers? Maybe they're, it's just that's the way this works.
And the thing is, I mean, I guess it's getting there slowly because they're going to let more teams in next year. But people talk about how terrible how terrible this is. Well, it's a lot better than when it was just the 1 and 2 team playing against each other.
Right.
And it was a lot better than just voting at the end of the season on who the best team was.
Yeah. And so it kind of goes to the question, because there's so much debate / controversy. Hey, no news is not necessarily good news. Any kind of news is good for the sport. Do you think all of this in the end is good for college football?
I don't know if it's good, but there's no repercussions for it. Like, are people not going to watch games or go to bowl games because FSU or Georgia aren't in?
Yeah, like Dave, I think he thinks his team got screwed, but he also thinks the committee did the right thing. If it was me and I was doing college football's committee, I basically said this to myself out loud over the weekend. I went, well, I would definitely have Michigan, Washington, and Florida State in. Florida State was undefeated. I would knowingly put Florida State in thinking there is no chance they have to win this thing.
Now, I will say this. Say Florida State and Georgia, they just said, you know what? This is a farce. This is dumb. We don't like it. We're not going to play a bowl game. We're not going.
What do you think that does, though?
Huh?
What do you think that does?
I think that's the only way to get people thinking about changing it. If there was obviously, they're not going to do that. Obviously, they're changing it next year. But say there was no change next year. If Florida State and Georgia felt so ticked off about it, you know what? We're not going. You want this big time bowl game? Too bad.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen.
And the thing is, people want more teams. There's always controversy. We had it here locally. FCS has 24 teams. A good portion of the FCS teams make the college football playoffs. Sac State did. UC Davis didn't. I think UC Davis should have made it. There was controversy in that. I'm not saying they were the 24th team, 23rd team, but it felt like they should have been in there. And when you go, if you had 24, the team 25 can't complain. No, they can. There will always be in the NCAA. Now they've at, what is it, up to 68 for March Madness? Well, there's teams that are mad at 69 and like, how do we not get in? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, like when it goes to 12, people are like, oh, well, this will take care of it. Next year, there's going to be someone saying, how are they not the 12th best team?
Yeah. So, like, to Kirby Smart's point of they're saying you put the best teams, my opinion is I think Georgia's the best team in college football. They're not in this. You are penalizing them, to me, for when they lost. They lost in December, whereas if they played Alabama in week 1 as 2-time champions and whatever at that time, about a 21 game winning streak, maybe it was a little less, 2 times champions, they would have dropped from number 1 to 6 and ran the table, they'd be in. They'd be in.
They would.
They lost in December. They're being punished for it. Ohio State and Michigan, the game of the year at the time, until really the next game of the year. But Ohio State lost to who's now number 1 by less than a touchdown on the road. No one's even talking about them being in the top 4. Won every other game. It's an imperfect system. I don't know the right answer. Even with 12, I think part of the tricky part of that, Chris, that at least what they're talking about is having conference winners all get in. All right, well, I'm going to go back to the FCS here again, where like Big Sky, where Sac State and UC Davis play, they have an automatic bid for whoever wins the conference. Great. That's considered one of the best FCS conferences along with the Missouri Valley. There's a league called the Pioneer League that gets a team in every year. I should do the math, but I want to say the last 3 or 4 years, they've lost in the first round by 40-plus points every year. Well, they get the automatic bid. They're just not as good. And so are they going to do that to some of the leagues? Well, we've got this league, so we've got to get the winner of that league in, and maybe that costs, I don't know, a Georgia or an Alabama or a Ohio State a spot because, well, we're guaranteed some conference winners. And we get back to that question we kind of even talked up yesterday. Are conferences a big deal? Should they be allowed, or are we just having one big, NBA field of 30 teams? One big college football union of all that. And the other thing that's happening now, back to the controversy and back to the business of college football, did you see how many people are in the transfer portal?
Oh, yeah.
It's over 1,000. And the fact that I'm for athletes being able to transfer, and now there's less penalty. I mean, it used to be a bigger crime to jump from conference to, levels. Like you couldn't go from the FCS to the FBS without sitting a year. Things are now more available, more free, and it's probably good for players. But, man, you get comfortable. Hey, we got this quarterback. He's going to be here for the next 3 years. No, he's bouncing, going to the SEC now.
There is a way to fix all that.
How's that?
Which college football or college sports will never, ever agree to, is have players sign contracts. We will, for 3 years, you come here, you'll get this amount of money.
Well, why would college not agree to that?
Because then they're paying players.
Oh, which is what they're doing now, but they don't want. I mean, now it's less of.
Now they're not there. The colleges aren't paying players. They're getting name and likeness payments from boosters.
I forget the guy's name at Washington State, Cam something, the QB there, who. The other part of too is if you've graduated, and I think we're also in a window here where some players, remember the 2020 season, the kind of the COVID year, a lot of players got an extra year back from that. So those players finish school, and once you've graduated, it's really easy, and you have still eligibility left. It's really easy. Like, I'm just going to bounce schools and play one more year, really no huge scholastic requirements. And I'm going to bounce. Well, we're going to get out of that window at some point here with that kind of COVID year that made some things unique. But the guy I'm talking about from Washington State is, Chris, I think is put his name basically in the NFL draft, but he also reportedly has like multiple $1 million offers from schools. And you're going, wait, it's being reported that he has multiple $1 million. I mean, I guess the name, image, and likeness is happening, but where's this money coming from? What are you doing for the school that you're not even there yet where they're going to utilize your name, image, and likeness? This just seems...
Yeah. I mean, they're the ones that mucked it up in this gray area.
Yeah. I appreciate them getting paid. Like, good for them.
Yes.
I'm not going to, more for that.
If the schools are making money off of you, you should get a percentage of it.
Absolutely. No issue with that. It's just, where is the end game? Where is the finish? What will college football and college sports look like in a decade from now? All right, when we'll take a break here. When we come back, more to get to, including remember the situation, the sideline incident that happened with the Eagles and the 49ers. Well, the NFL sent a memo out, and it looks like there could be some big punishments coming. We'll explain that next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers walked into Philadelphia and took care of business last Sunday, stopping the Dirty Birds 42-19. Quarterback Brock Purdy had 314 yards passing, while Deebo Samuel contributed 138 total yards and 3 touchdowns. The Red and Gold are now one game out of the top spot in the NFC and will look to keep their winning streak going when they face Seattle at home in Week 14.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered in valuable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with E.B. Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. E.B. Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust E.B. Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green.
Hey there, listen up, Sacramento. Ready to make this holiday season unforgettable? Well, we've got something that'll have you jingling all the way. Picture this, a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $279 per month plus tax with no money down. No, I did not stutter. No money down. That's right. Zip, zero, nada. Elk Grove Kia is spreading the joy this Christmas, and we're making it easier than ever for you to drive home in style. So why wait? I will say it again. Head on down to Elk Grove Kia and drive home your new 2024 Kia Forte LXS today with absolutely no money down. Elk Grove Kia is your go-to destination for top-notch quality and unbeatable service. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or go to elkgrovekia.com. $279 plus tax, zero customer cash, no signing, residual of $10,000 per day, $250 case and 10K per year, $6 per mile over 0 security, and 0 1 such requires step
Elk Grove Kia.
Get your retirement savings to play ball with your retirement plan. Call Cap Trust today at 916-924-7527 or log on to captrust.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On Sactown Sports.
A.J. Brown wide right against Mooney. Man, Hurts throws. It is caught. Devontae Smith has a huge cushion inside the 30. Fly came in. A personal foul out of bounds.
And they're going to get Greg Greenlaw on this one.
Oh, pardon me, Greenlaw. Greenlaw came in late. Now the Eagles sideline is coming down. They got to make sure they separate these players. Right now, Dre Greenlaw will take a personal foul again.
57 better get thrown out. I just read.
Well, he picked him up and threw him down. It wasn't that he hit him on the wide. He picked him up, Tim, and threw him down.
Yeah, that's the old suplex.
And then he pushed an Eagle, somebody on their sideline. He may get kicked out.
Oh,
Dre Greenlaw picked up Smith and whipped him to the ground. And then he got into it with the Eagles sideline. And he extended a hand there and touched one of their members of their sideline.
Well, that guy's... Oh, yeah, he took a... He
hit him in the face.
No, he had his finger out. He's pointing his finger at him. It's not a closed fist.
Did the officials see that, or being they told that from Walt Anderson in New York?
Well, whoever it is working for the Eagles. He's pushing Dre Greenlaw away, has his hand in his chest. Dre reaches his finger out and points at the guy and definitely touches him in the face, and that guy goes right back at him.
With the left hand.
After the play was over, personal foul, number 57 of San Francisco, who has also been disqualified.
Is that when they were attacking Matt Barrows in the press box? So that was the incident that became a thing, certainly, Sunday between the Eagles and the 49ers. Dre Greenlaw was thrown out. So was the guy we now know who that sideline staffer was, Dom. Big Dom. Well, according to the NFL, they released a memo yesterday. The playing rules of the National Football League and our game operations clearly prohibit non-player personnel, coaches, trainers, equipment staff, security officers, or others from making physical contact with, taunting, or directing abusive or insulting language towards opposing players, game officials, or others involved in a game. If an altercation occurs, club personnel are to allow the coaches and game officials to manage the situation, with the officials assessing appropriate penalties with assistance from the league. Office is needed. Under no circumstances are club personnel to engage with or make physical contact with another club's player or players or other personnel. So the memo goes on to say the football operations department will diligently enforce these rules and assess accountability measures on both individuals and clubs as appropriate. In addition to ejection, these may include fines and or suspensions without pay. So they're going to certainly look at this. They believe that some people believe there will be significant punishment handed down towards Dom DeSandro and the Eagles. Let's hear about from those involved. This is the day of the situation, and let's hear about Kyle Shanahan discussing it.
Oh, yeah, that's why I tried my hardest not to lose my mind. Hopefully I didn't embarrass myself too bad. But, yeah, once I didn't get to see it all from where I'm at, but when I start hearing people explain it to me and stuff, and I just can't believe someone not involved in a football game can taunt our players like that and put their hands in our guy's face. And from what I was told, Dre did it back to him, and I was told that he kind of mashed him in the face a little bit, so he got ejected. But it was a very frustrating play. I got to watch it to have a true opinion on it, but I loved how we rallied after it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going game situation, yeah, the Niners certainly did rally. I think there was a situation there where the Eagles could have really flipped that game around. I think the key here to me, Chris, on all of this is it's difficult enough for the officials to regulate and keep the game in control. And when it goes to the sideline, you're now adding more elements, more people. And if you're anybody on the sideline, a non-player, or you just can't. You can't get involved. I'm not saying Greenlaw was angelic and he's fine. Well, he got penalized. He did the suplex. I don't think he was going to get thrown out of the game. He got thrown out of the game because of the sideline incident that he basically started with his play on the field, but it didn't have to spill into the sideline and become more with him and Dom.
I mean, that's not. I mean, obviously it's a penalty, but that's not something out of the ordinary.
Right. We've seen that. He'll do it again. I mean, I'm not saying.
And we've never seen this situation before.
Yeah. And it really didn't get ugly, but it could have.
Yes.
And you just can't have that.
Like if
happen.
you have someone that is not a team member, a coach, let's say he shoved a player harder. And it's one of those things, it's almost like professional wrestling.
Yeah.
To where you get someone that can push a wrestler, but hey, you can't touch me because I'm a manager. I'm not a wrestler. Right. You can't do anything to me. It's one of those things. Like if you get someone like that does that causes something like that, but like, hey, I'm not a player. I'm not a coach. You can't do anything to me.
Yeah.
You can't touch me.
And even like I've seen it multiple times. It looks like even at the beginning that Dom's maybe just trying to separate it, but then it gets a little bit more. Nothing awful, but you just can't have that. And I'm glad for Greenlaw's sake, like. That is the weirdest. I'm kind of pointing at you. I didn't close my fist, but it looks like a punching gesture. But then the fact that he just grazes his mouth / nose.
I kind of wish Dom would have flopped.
That would have been hilarious. Like an NBA player or a soccer player just acting like the world hit him. Here's more from Kyle Shanahan on the big being asked about that ejection.
Kyle, is there any update or any conversation about what happened on the Eagles sideline today? And just a day later after sleeping on it, have your thoughts on it changed at all?
No, I haven't heard anything. I mean, my thoughts are pretty much the same as yesterday. It was hard to accept, Dre getting kicked out of that game for something that didn't involve someone that had to do with that game. But I definitely don't have any hard feelings towards Dom or anything like that. I don't want anyone to go too hard on him. I think he just got caught in a weird situation and an emotional situation. So no hard feelings towards him. I know a lot of people who know him and speak very highly of him. I just couldn't believe we lost our player because of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's looking at it from both sides. I think even on the broadcast, they said it's 1-for-1. It's not. One's playing in the game. One's a impactful linebacker for your team. And
I don't know. Maybe Big Dom really keeps the.
Maybe he's the brotherly shove.
Yeah,
he's under that pile. But the reality is, yes, Dre Greenlaw's play and the flag and the violent tackle, let's say, started it, but it ends there. I mean, if a player gets in his face and they push and shove, and then Greenlaw punches a player, all right, maybe he's ejected. But I think the Eagles sideline took exception. The fact that it was so close to the sideline brought in other entities. Certainly here's Dom. And just because everybody got a little bit closer, that's where you get the kind of recognition. And that's ultimately what got Greenlaw ejected. Speaking of Greenlaw, here's Dre talking a little bit more about that and that whole confrontation.
We just exchanged a formal apology just between me and John and some of the same people that we do know that and stuff like that. So he seemed like a genuine guy. Seemed like a guy that everybody loved in the building. So I hate that. Honestly, I really hate that he even escalated and went to that.
All right, so it sounds like those two guys are good. It's a little formal apology exchange between those two. And by all accounts, if everybody's raving about Dom, people love the way Dre Greenlaw plays. All of this in the end, hopefully, is just added video for later. If these two teams play, I'm sure in the playoffs, they'll show that incident. I don't know that there'll be any carryover from that. And certainly we'll see what the NFL ultimately comes down with on that. All right, coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, we got to go through last night in the NBA. Tonight is a big night, too. Was really hoping the Kings were playing tonight in Vegas, but they are not. We got the 4 teams left in the Final Four in Vegas to talk about. We've got sports business with Kelly Brothers at the bottom of the hour, 3 for Madness. But when we come back, had a chance earlier this week to talk about this Niners-Eagles game and college football's Final Four with Sean Salisbury. Dave and I had that earlier in the week. We're going to listen back to that. Sean had some really good opinions on all things there. We'll let you hear that again. That is next.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday, and after a soggy start to the day, expect rain showers to develop for midday and into early afternoon. We'll see a couple of passing showers. A little cooler today with highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The recent storm has caused dangerous driving conditions for us. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down. Be alert and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now, there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays. Ooma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard. At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Honda stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more feel-good words. Days is how long you have left to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural minds.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Good morning, Sean. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing great.
Awesome.
We're obviously going to talk about Niners Eagles with you, and I'm gonna leave that question to Jason. But I just real quick, Sean, I've been waiting for 72 hours somewhere in there to talk to you. Sean, you know, I bleed garnet and gold. I'm a lifelong Florida State fan. You know this.
Yep.
Am I a turncoat because I said, and I believe this, Florida State got absolutely hosed. They got absolutely screwed. There's no way around it. But after I've watched every minute of football they've played this year, I do not believe without Jordan Travis, they are a top 4 team. I don't know that they're a top 10 team without Jordan Travis. So although we got screwed and I'm heartbroken for those kids, I get the decision the committee made. I'm curious as to where you come down on it, though.
I'm 100% agreement with you.
Okay.
It sucks for the kids. And in another year, next year or the year before, or in 2024 next year, it may have worked.
Sure.
Now, if you just wanted to set the criteria at you wanted the ACC, that we're going to make it a rule because the Pac-12 doesn't have a power conference anymore once this is over. So there'll be 4 of them next year. So if you just want to make a rule that says, hey, if you're an undefeated conference champion, you're an automatic, no matter what the optics look like, no matter what the eye test tells you, no matter if Harry Hatchet-ass is on your roster, okay? Right. Throw into Joe Sixpack, then you're in. Listen, Jordan Travis had a great year. Mike Norvell had a great year. Yeah. I thought Stephen A. Smith made a hell of a point. I don't know if you heard it. saying that if Deion Sanders was the coach at Florida State, they may be in. And the reason why, they got more pub with 4 wins than Florida State got all year long. He wouldn't have let the spice go away. I think he's on to a little something. I do. I think that the committee would have been afraid to say no to Deion. I do.
Wow,
I think
you're right.
I'm telling you now, with the optics and the energy that he brings and what he's done, I'm telling you, it may have been different. And Stephen A. was on to something with that. And then I digress. But I'm with you. Listen, they would be, in my mind, if I was setting the line against the top 8, them and the other 7 teams, they'd be an underdog in every game. I'd take Oregon over them. I'd take Ohio State over them. I'd take Georgia over them, and they already are 14.
14, yeah.
If they really want to post their score and prove to the world, go hammer Georgia, because Georgia's pissed too, because they think they should be in it.
Yeah.
With what they do, and Kirby Smart's going to preach that. I love what Florida State did, but when you're without your starter, and is it the kid's fault? No, you're told to control what you can control, and they did. It just looked bad. Put it this way: what if Iowa was undefeated? Their starting quarterback goes out, and they beat Michigan 13-10, and they're undefeated, and yet they didn't play. They played on the wrong side. Their offense averages 13, 16 points a game. We would have been a little reluctant to put them in, even as an undefeated Big Ten champion. We would have.
Yeah.
We would have. So optics matter. And the truth is, right now, Florida State going in, and it sucks, and I'm with you, they are not one of the 4 best teams in the country. And I'm with you. I can probably name the 9th and the 10th team that may even be better. And that's not a slight on them, because I'm with them. But the other 4 teams, and including some that aren't in the finals, are just better. And it's just the way we're doing the criteria. You wanted human element, you got it. 13 of them, and most of them probably, I would doubt that there was very many who said Florida State needs to be in above Texas or Alabama. And I would have put Alabama in as well. You beat Georgia, you deserve to, the 2-time national champion. I feel bad for Florida State, but it was just the wrong year to go 13-0, and the optics and your starting quarterback to get hurt.
So, Sean, the overall 4 you mentioned, you would have put Alabama. You good with what the committee did, though, the Final 4 they have?
I am. I mean, the question, it's like an all-star game, guys. You know, when somebody gets, who are we taking out? Who are you taking out? Can we really look over the last handful of, 8 weeks and say that Alabama, I'm not so sure Alabama's not going to win the whole thing the way they're playing. Optics, I mean, I understand they lost in September, and it didn't seem like, at least going into this week, that the committee even, when they had Oregon and Ohio State ahead of them going into this week, you're like, ahead of Texas, I'm talking about, you're like, did they not even take Texas's win in September? To me, every month, every game matters. I don't care when it happened. They were number 3 in the country. Texas beat them. They belong in. And if you're looking at optics, that team right now is pretty damn good. Washington undefeated, Michigan undefeated. Of those, yes. Hell, I could have made a bigger argument for Georgia with 1 loss than Florida State undefeated without their starting quarterback. I could have. So, yeah, I think they got it right. But if you really wanted to get it right, I would put Georgia as a favorite over every single team in the top 8 if they played again. I still think Georgia's as good a team as there is in the country. So if you really want to just play the 4 best, Georgia would be in my 4 best. That being said, the way it's set up, Georgia has a little bit of an argument. Florida State has a big argument. And the other 4 belong exactly where they are, playing for a national title.
Sean, and God, I literally talked for 2 hours with you about this. College football is not huge out here, so it pumps me up too. I know we got to get to Eagles Niners, but can I also add, doesn't Ohio State have a pretty good argument too, losing by 2 or 3, whatever it was, at the Big House? I'm not saying they have as good, but it's compelling how many teams have really good arguments to be in the top 4.
There is absolutely no question. This is one of those years where I could have. It's too bad we don't have 8.
Yeah,
because I'd really like to see Oregon if they're playing their best, and Ohio State if they're on. Yep. I'd love to see it, and Florida State too with the backup. I'd love to see it, and then we don't. The 9th team doesn't have a gripe. Okay, now if we get to 12, fine, but those 8, Ohio State can make the argument on the right day. They can beat any of them. It's so weird to me with this transfer portal that guys are leaving after you're the starting quarterback on an 11-1 team. I don't understand the concept, but yes, you can make the argument. And I'll ask you this: if Florida State played Ohio State, hello?
Yep, there we go. Hi, there you go. You said you cut right where
I said if Florida State played Ohio State right now on a neutral site, who are you picking?
If Florida State and Ohio State were playing a neutral site, I'd say Ohio State 10.5.
Yeah, I was going to say 8.5, 9.5. That's my point.
Yeah.
So they did get it right. But yeah, Ohio State has an argument too with one loss. The problem is their one loss came recent. It didn't come early. And when recent, hell, if Georgia's loss would have come in September, I'm not so sure we wouldn't have put them back in. Honest to God. Yet I don't understand that concept. I understand when you lose a starting player like the Florida State did, but why isn't a win in September just as important as a win in November? I've never understood that. It baffles me, but put me on that committee. The 4 best teams aren't in, but the 4 best teams, considering the circumstances, are in, because Georgia's one of the 4 best teams in America. So they did get it right, minus Georgia, because of their loss at the wrong time to Alabama.
Who comes out? Sorry, who comes out? You put Georgia in, you're on the committee. Who comes out, Alabama or Texas?
I think Alabama, right? I would have to take Alabama out, which is because Texas beat them handily in their building.
True.
Yet, if Alabama and Texas play each other, how am I going to pick against Nick Saban's Alabama team? Yet Sarkisian's the best play caller in the postseason we got. It makes for great theater, and it sucks for Florida State. And quite frankly, I'm not feeling sorry for Georgia because they got 2 rings the last 2 years, but they are going to play angry in that game against Florida State. You and I both know it.
Talking with Sean Salisbury here on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Sean, how about Sunday? We were waiting for this game. Niners were certainly ready to go after a slow beginning. 6 straight scoring drives. You've been a big fan of what they are and what they can be. Was that that version of the 49ers? Who beats them this year?
In the NFC, nobody does. The best team in football going into that was Philadelphia. Now, I don't know if it was the emotion of Buffalo, if it was, going in on the road, a 5-hour trip across the country, and you're the favorite against Philadelphia, that was an odd line, but it wasn't obviously enough. Those people in Vegas got a pretty good idea what's going on. Don't they? Just like Green Bay in Kansas City going to Green Bay. But yeah, that 49er team, if that's who we get, good luck in the AFC or NFC beating them. Cowboys are obviously a threat. Detroit can score. And in the AFC, we know that Mahomes' team will hang around. Baltimore will hang around. To me, what I saw on Sunday was what I felt the whole year, that the 49ers can make a case as the best team in football. And with their quarterback, they went and proved it. He now is the leading candidate for the MVP. Again, his numbers cannot be denied. It was impressive. They're not that much better than Philadelphia. I assure you, when they play again, Philadelphia is not. They're not losing by that distance. No matter where they play, they can play in the parking lot. But they proved to me that while both rosters are dominant, when the quarterback played a bit better than Jalen Hurts did in that game, obviously, and the 49ers are real, but they're eerily similar when it comes to great players on both sides of the ball, home run hitters, physical, well-coached, nasty, get after, can lose coordinators and still be considered the 2 best teams in the NFC along with the Cowboys. Yeah, that was impressive. And that's the 49er team that I had going to the Super Bowl this year. And I think they're as dangerous as it gets, and they're playing really good football now.
Last thing, I've been wanting to keep it in our zeitgeist here that Brock Purdy, let's remember, was not pick 199 like Tom Brady. He was literally Mr. Irrelevant. And if Mr. Irrelevant through the years even suits up and plays in a game, that's a miracle. And you just mentioned him as a leading candidate for MVP. Let's say he does win that MVP. Would you say he's right up there with, that second tier of Kurt Warner's got to be the best, right? Because Kurt Warner wasn't drafted, and Kurt Warner won a title, and Kurt Warner's in the Hall of Fame. But Brock Purdy's certainly making a name for himself when it comes to Disney movies.
Oh, there is absolutely no question. Now, if Purdy did this, like these kind of numbers, 6-7 years. Mm-hmm. Now we're in now you're in the Kurt Warner. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Where he's like got him in a chance all the time. Guys, the only reason, like I've said before, if Brock Purdy would have been drafted 18th and where Kenny Pickett was for Pittsburgh,
right?
If he'd have been drafted where Pickett was, we would be saying the 49ers, hey, we didn't know if we'd be able to replace Montana and Young, but after this year and a half, wow.
Hey, Sean,
their next guy.
Sorry, but Sean, honestly, if you'd have just flip-flop him and Trey Lance at number 3, right? Same thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's even a better, more recent comparison.
Yeah.
They would be going, if Trey Lance was doing what Brock Purdy is doing, they would be talking about him like they're talking about C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Here in Houston, it would be off the charts MVP. There's going to be reluctance to give him the award. Listen, how many? If it was a first-round pick making the throws Purdy's making, and he's not making baby throws, his average yards per attempt. But you know what they say? Well, run after the catch. Look how many yards after the catch he's getting. But that ball has to be accurate. It has to be thrown where it's supposed to. It's amazing how many excuses we'll find not to give the last pick of the draft credit, yet the same, just put a different draft wrapper on him, meaning put him in the first round, and people would be going nuts over Brock Purdy. It's quite fascinating to me. By the way, experts do miss when they're drafting these guys because you don't know what they got in their gut. I think we're getting a pretty good idea about Purdy. He's accurate, he throws on time, and he's tough. 49ers got themselves a quarterback. I'm anxious to see how December goes.
That's Sean Salisbury each and every Tuesday. Sean, always appreciate you as we barrel on down to the NFL playoffs, college football bowl games, and so much more. Always a blast talking to you, my brother.
Loved it, guys. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you. Too. Take care.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to visit with Kelly Brothers, sports business. Coming your way here. Lots of different topics to chase with Kelly coming up in just a few minutes, but it is that time. 3 questions, 3 answers. That's called 3 for Madness, and it's brought to you by our friends at Fire Wings. 21 delicious flavors of wings. Make tonight a Fire Wings night. Fire Wings, just wing it. All right, Chris. I have not. Chris took over this one today. I don't know what these questions are. I'm a tad nervous.
All soccer and wrestling.
Oh, perfect. Let's go. What's question 1?
Actually, this one isn't, so the other 2 are.
Okay.
After getting Alex Verdugo on Tuesday and Juan Soto yesterday,
championship.
Are the Yankees done with their moves, or do they got another big move to make?
Well, I mean, look, they've added actually, they got Grisham in the Soto deal as well. So they basically have added 3 outfielders here in the last 24 to 48 hours. I want them to get Shohei Ohtani so badly. I don't think they're going to. But I don't think they're done. I think what they did do, though, is address last year's big-time weakness. I said, look, they haven't really addressed pitching that much. They do have the reigning Cy Young Award winner in Garrett Cole, but you need more than that. But they just didn't put the bat on the ball that much last year. Their average was way down from the year before. They did have some injuries, certainly, but you got to get on base. You got to get hits. Soto is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, led the league in walks last year, has a good on-base percentage. Verdugo can put the ball in play. And, you know, we're in such an era of seemingly strikeout or home run, and the Yankees strike out a lot. But you need guys on base, and it still works. There's still a concept of putting the ball in play and putting pressure on defenses that can carry you to a good season. So they need more guys like that. I don't think they're done, but I think their biggest splash was the one they just made in.
Also, to add to that, a 3-run home run, it gets you more runs than a solo home run.
Very true. That is factually true. And I don't know if teams realize that, but I don't know if that'll cycle back. You know, kind of sports go in cycles, but we were at a time where, wouldn't say it was small ball, but you would literally have a leadoff man that could produce a run just by getting on base, and a stolen base or a bunt or a sacrifice.
And with the new rules, it's become more of an advantage for base runners.
Yeah.
So you would think that would start to make a comeback.
Stolen bases, I would say, went up last year a little bit, but it didn't take over the entire league. But it's a weapon. I mean, if you get on base and then you steal, like, you are obviously already in scoring position, but a great chance of producing a run just by getting on base instead of waiting for that home run. So I hope the Yankees aren't done. I hope they continue to make good moves, but I'm excited about Soto going to New York. All right, question 2.
Question 2.
With Caitlin Clark becoming the first college basketball player, man or woman, to record 3,000 points, 750 rebounds, and 750 assists, will we see anything like this in college sports again?
It's going to be really difficult on the men's side because of people jumping to go to the pros. Like, if you're a really gifted player, and that, I would say, Chris, to me is the biggest change in college basketball, because I like college basketball. I don't follow it anywhere nearly like I used to, but there was kind of a charm of, hey, that Kentucky team's really good. Oh my gosh, 4 of the 5 starters are coming back. Like, that just,
yeah.
If you have a really good team, they're gone.
How long was Grant Hill at Duke for?
He might have been close to 2 to 3 years,
Yeah.
3 years maybe, which, the Fab Five was there for 3. Chris was, C. Webb was there for 2. Like, it started somewhere around in there. And I mean, they weren't the first ever, but there were some, but you can't have a team that's like 4-year starters, or it's rare to have a group that is successful early and they played together. Like, imagine that team who wasn't it DeMarcus's draft that had like 5 players from Kentucky go in the first round or something?
And wasn't there like a North Carolina team that had 6?
Something just absurd. And you're like, well, they're all gone. Like, they were good. And then, imagine them coming back next year. Well, we can't because they're gone.
I do think that makes a fun wrinkle in March, because you have those lower level schools who do have players that are there 3-4 years. So they know how to work together. They play team basketball.
Yeah. They're like 22 and they've played 80 games together.
Going up against these athletic freaks.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is going to overrule the other one?
They're all McDonald's All-Americans, but these guys are all really good and have played 80-plus games together, maybe 100 games together, and tournament experience. And, yeah, that's how you get a little bit more of the upsets, certainly in March. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe another woman's player that's that good, but that's pretty spectacular.
Insane.
Yeah, absolutely insane. All right, question 3.
Question 3.
The in-season tournament semifinals are today. Who you got? Bonus question.
Yeah.
What do you think of the 2 p.m. start for the Bucks and Pacers?
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. I mean, you say, well, this is being done for the East. All right, so they start at 5 there. Like, that's rare. If the Bucks Pacers game tonight was a TNT game 1 of a doubleheader, we would get that at about 4:00 here, or 4:30. So it's 2 hours earlier than that. I don't know the premise behind that. The other part, if I'm not mistaken, I need to double check this, because I thought I saw this and I thought that's different. Let me make sure I have this right, Chris, because So the 2:00 start is on ESPN. The 6:00 start is on TNT.
Well, you can't have the game go up against. They can't push Avengers Endgame for the millionth time, just so that they could play a basketball game.
Right? Is it that, or is it Charmed?
Charmed.
So yeah, Pacers Bucks today. I'm taking the Bucks. I think the Bucks will win that one. I think they're the better team. The records are probably similar. No, the Bucks are better. 15-6. Pacers 11-8.
I would love to see like a Dame Halliburton just back and forth.
We're going to get that. There's going to be a lot of moments of that. I know. I wonder who in that game specific, if we were at the game today, what do you think Vegas is pulling for? Like, I'm saying like a general Vegas crowd at this game, because I don't know that it's going to be the Vegas crowd's going to be Laker fans.
Yeah.
But this is the Bucks Pacers.
I would say Bucks.
Probably more known
because they have the
teams.
stars.
Yeah. So I think Vegas is going for that. I think it's going to be Bucks and Pelicans.
Vegas does not want that.
Probably not. The one they want is the Lakers. It doesn't even matter the other side.
If they could put their choice in there, it'd be Lakers Celtics.
Bucks. Well, their choice, yeah. But what's left? Lakers, Bucks.
Yeah.
Lakers, Bucks is what they want. So I'm going to give them half of that. Bucks. I think the Pelicans are really good.
They are.
Yeah, now that they're healthier, more complete, good balance. I'm going to pick the Pelicans and the Bucks tonight.
I just want to see Zion bulldoze LeBron. Because, who has done that to him?
Nobody?
Yeah.
Yeah, not really anybody.
And I don't even know if Zion can do that, but.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Pelicans are 12-10, Lakers 13-9. Point spreads. All right, what's your guess on that? What's your point spreads tonight? First, Milwaukee and Indiana.
I'm going to guess Milwaukee by 3.5.
Okay. And what about the Pelicans, Lakers?
I'm going to say Lakers 1.5.
You got that right on. Lakers are favored by 1.5. Milwaukee's favored by 5.5.
Okay. So I almost said 5.5.
So, yeah, as far as my picking, I think it'll be the Bucks and the Pelicans tonight that get it done. We'll see.
I think that the Pelicans are going to get into foul trouble early.
What? Against the Lakers?
LeBron is going to be getting to the line a lot. And I think that the Lakers will win a close one.
That doesn't sound right. Like you've seen this game before. All right, there you go. That is 3 questions, 3 answers. That was 3 for Madness. All right, when we come back, sports business. We love this conversation with Kelly Brothers. Got lots of topics to bounce around with Kelly. We'll do that when we come back here on Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m.
on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday, and after a soggy start to the day, expect rain showers to develop for midday and into early afternoon. We'll see a couple of passing showers. A little cooler today with highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call, then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi. This is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings holiday home sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings holiday home sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning.
Here's Kelly Brothers.
That's right. It's that time. We love sports business, getting the very latest. And you see him there for those of you joining us on our YouTube as well, besides hearing him over the air. Hey, brothers, good morning, Kelly. How are you?
Jason, Good morning. Happy Thursday. Good to see you. Thanks for filling in. Man, this is a heavy load for you, I'm sure. I mean,
yeah, Dave's
talking
yes,
for 4 hours.
Talking and talking and talking. But I'm glad we have you to help us with some of that talking, because we got a lot of business here that's going on, because I think everybody right now, we'll kind of start in college football, because we got a Final Four. They did make a selection. There's plenty to debate whether they got that right or wrong, and that's part of the essence of college sports. But we're also in a time where college athletes are making decisions, Kelly, on their future. There's more and more players ever going in the portal. Portal also means financial benefits with people getting offers. I mean, where are we now, Kelly, with college athletes and really the financial dollars they're now getting?
Yeah, and it's very muddled still, Jason. However, this week, within the last week or so, the NCAA has come out, and, or the head of the NCAA, and basically put forth a plan which will kind of strip any guise of amateurism out of it all completely, where they'll just be able to pay athletes directly. And, this will have ramifications, obviously, especially for some of the smaller sports, especially for smaller schools, because it will really, there will be a line between the haves and the have-nots. So no deal has been finalized yet, but to have the head of the NCAA come out and say, listen, we're going to put together these pools of money that will then be used to basically pay players, it's a Maginot line. I mean, it's something we haven't crossed before, and we're crossing it now. And, we're already seeing it with, obviously the kids who enter the portals. Many of them who go to the bigger schools are being guaranteed a certain NIL number, which is kind of a one way of guaranteeing them remuneration, compensation. Maybe it's not coming from the school, but they're guaranteeing them money. And we're seeing, the death, I believe, of the non-playoff bowl system, because the teams that will play in the non-playoff bowls are not the teams that were playing 3 weeks ago. A lot of these players have already said, I'm not playing because they don't want to get hurt. They're going to go in the draft. Many players have already, hundreds of players have entered the transfer portal, so they're not going to play. So these are just shells of the teams that they were just a few weeks ago, unless you're in the college football playoff. And in that case, of course, you should have your team pretty much at full strength.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point you made, Kelly, about the kind of the death of the Final Four, Final 12, or 8, whatever they ultimately get to next year. Those other bowl games, those are huge financial endorsers or names attached and companies to the Cheez-It Bowl or whatever it is. And, there's money to be made there, but are those things going to kind of die a slow death?
No, I think they are. And they've been very important to some of the local areas, El Paso, Texas, and the Sun Bowl, and some of these areas that have these that are in the Sun Belt that have used these bowls as an economic driver. But I feel bad for Florida State, but I thought, this is all going to go away in a few weeks when they get play Georgia and get stomped by 21 points. But I don't know if that's going to happen now, because I don't know if the players on either team are actually going to play in this bowl game. It'll, like I said, they'll just be shells of the team they were. I mean, even players on the 4 teams in the college football playoff, even a number of those players have already entered the transfer portal, because they're like, and which is very strange to me. But that's the new world we're in. I got to admit, I don't like it. I wouldn't mind if they said, hey, you can enter the transfer portal once in 5 years, but these, Uiagalelei, I can't remember his name, Ugalele.
Oh, yeah, from Oregon State.
The quarterback who went from Clemson to Oregon State. Now he's going to another school. It just strips away kind of the whole idea of loyalty, and it really does make these kids kind of mercenaries for one school for 1 year.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know the answer to this. It's kind of a vague thought on, hey, stud quarterback is going to go to your school, going to go to Notre Dame, is kind of guaranteed whatever financial dollars in NIL money. Where is that coming from? Like, I could promise you, hey, you're going to get $800,000 to come here to Oklahoma. Great, but and I don't know if the player cares where it's coming from as long as they get it, but do you have a rough idea of where that just general statement of these promises, where this money's coming from?
I think it's just the relationships between schools and advertisers based on, Notre Dame has an exclusive contract with NBC. You can't tell me NBC is not setting up some of their players with, hey, we're going to get you this PepsiCo, deal.
Sure.
A real interesting Notre Dame note I saw this week, which I just found fascinating because I met the kid a few years ago, Tyler Buckner. He played quarterback in Notre Dame. He went to Alabama as a backup. He has now entered the transfer portal to come back to Notre Dame as a lacrosse player, not as a football player. So, it's just the jumping around. It just makes you wonder. And also, I think, Jason, this is a huge reason to expand college football's playoff to 12 teams and maybe beyond, because it'll keep that many more teams engaged through the month of December, that many more teams intact through the month of December. We'll see how that plays out.
Well, another big financial just bombshell that's going to happen here at some point is Shohei Ohtani. We don't know where and when that'll happen, but he's going to be a huge there's going to be a huge financial dollars to his name, Kelly. What's the kind of the financial impact of that chase? All these teams, Giants included, that are really trying to get Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, it won't just be who he's going to sign with, but remember, whoever he signs with, he will then have to pass a physical. Can you imagine that physical and the pressure on that doctor? This is a guy, an incredible athlete, and anyone would love to have him on their team, but he's had significant elbow surgery twice in the last 5 years. So that doctor is going to have to sign off on the guaranteeing of probably a $600 million deal. And, we saw it last year, right? Correa did not pass the physical for the Giants, and they said, we're out. So that will be a big deal. The other thing that I always find interesting and I think makes it hard for California teams is the tax ramification.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about next year a 14.4% tax in California on a guy like Ohtani that he would not pay if he went to a Texas team or he went to a Florida team. That's a lot of money. Now, remember, these players are filing tax returns in multiple states because they are taxed based on where they played the games. So even if he played for the Diamondbacks, if he's playing the Dodgers 4 times and the Giants 4 times, he's paying a chunk of tax to California in that case anyway. Where it really comes into play is that if you're playing for a team, you're a resident of that state most likely, and that means any endorsement deals or anything beyond your baseball contract, that will be taxed at that state's rate. And of course, in California, we're at a huge disadvantage in that case. But I think it's going to come down to I don't. From what I've been reading, Toronto and San Francisco seem to be the front runners, and but the physical will be the big deal, especially because basically they are valuing him as 2 players. They're valuing him as a great hitter, and they're valuing him as a number 1 ace starter, and trying to combine those 2 numbers together to get to above $600 million.
I mean, this is parallels recruiting. Like, again, we go back to Notre Dame. I'm trying to get you to Notre Dame, and you're selling the fact that, look, tradition, school, here's what the university provides, NBC. You lump on all these great things, and if there's another counter school, you're probably firing some negatives about that school. If I'm Toronto, if I'm any other place outside of the Dodgers and Giants that are interested in him, I'm using that state tax code as a weapon against them, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely you are. And you're showing him, here is your net number in your pocket after you pay all the taxes you will owe. And they will break it down. I mean, they know what the schedule is going to be next year. They know how many games you're going to play in each state. I bet you it hurts just if you even go to a Western Division team, because you're playing games in San Diego, San Francisco, and LA. And those add up, and you're going to pay a huge chunk, even if you're not a member of one of those teams. So the state tax situation, I think, has helped Texas teams in the past, and probably Florida teams as well. And that's why all these golfers, whether they're from this country or another country, set up shop in Florida as well. So it's a part of it, but hopefully, I mean, who knows? Maybe the Giants can offer enough that is not a big issue.
One more thing on this, Kelly, your thought just in general on baseball's contracts. We've seen in the last, 5 to 10 years or so, kind of really long, extended, guaranteed 10, 14-year contracts, which is absurd in any other league. But are these wins for the players / organization at all? Like, what are your thoughts on the really long-term baseball contracts?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously a risk because these are guaranteed contracts. It's not like the NFL. So, baseball's doing fine, even though their numbers, I mean, they don't compare anywhere to the NFL, but they're doing fine. The other thing I'll mention, Jason, is, as we think about the A's moving on to Vegas, Vegas is blowing up. I mean, the NHL just announced they're going to do their draft at the Sphere, which will be super cool to see how they use that venue to do their draft. And not only that, I've been reading about the demand for suites at Allegiant Stadium for next year's Super Bowl in Vegas is off the charts, well beyond any other city, in what has always been the biggest game of the year anywhere. And the demand for those suites are off the charts. So Vegas is really turning into a sports hotbed, especially with, of course, the emergence of sports betting as a legitimate and fully accepted part of the whole experience.
Yeah, well, in all these conversations, we always say follow the money. In this case, how about if we do jump to golf for a thought on John Rahm, another player making the jump?
Yeah, they're saying and they're saying he is getting a multiple of the amount of money that a Dustin Johnson or Phil Mickelson got.
Wow,
in many triple or quadruple what they got. They're talking about $500 to $600 million just to make the jump. And what's really interesting about this is, wait, didn't these two entities merge? Well, they did, but of course, the details have not been settled. The agreement was not finalized. It's supposed to be finalized by 12/31 of this year. I don't know if this tells me that deal's not going to get done, or if this just tells me Liv wanted extra leverage to get a deal done. But this is because John Rahm, he's young, he's number 3 in the world, he's won a Masters. By winning a Masters, he has no issues with getting into some of these other major tournaments, as some of these other Liv guys will. So for him, and he's been anti-Liv very much up till the last 3 months, and suddenly someone showed him the money, and it looks like he's about to take it.
Are they doing well? I mean, I'm a golf fan. I don't watch the Liv Tour at all, and they got great star power.
They have star power. I don't think their ratings are anything. But I don't think it matters. It's Saudi money. It's unending. Sure. It's coming out of a hole in the ground. They don't care. They just want control of the sport, and so that'll be very interesting. The negotiations between them and the PGA Tour. The commissioner of the PGA had to take a leave of absence for health reasons after this was announced. I can't imagine the pressure right now.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Kelly, how about for you in your business? Is this a crazier time, a busy time as we wrap up year going into New Year? What's it like for you right now?
It is, but it's all good stuff. It's been a decent year. It's been a weird year. With much of the return in the market driven by 7 or 8 stocks. And so but still we're going through the normal list, all the required minimum distributions out of retirement plans, tax loss harvesting, tweaking people's plans for the future. Hey, what if we did this? What if, there's all sorts of planning that should be done at the end of the year, because there are certain things that once the clock turns to 2024, you can't do anymore. So, in our shop, the week, the 2 or 3 weeks between Thanksgiving and let's say the 20th of December, always pretty busy. Want to make sure you don't miss anything, but all's good though, Jason, and always fun to be on with you. And I appreciate it.
Yeah. We thank you, Kelly, and look forward to talking to you again next week.
Over and out. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thank you. You too. That is Kelly Brothers, sports business. Always like to get insight. There's just always nuggets of information. And we always say this in sports, follow the money. It is out there to be had, and seemingly going to a lot of specific people. All right. Thanks to Kelly Brothers. He joins us each and every Thursday at 7:30. We'll come back, take a break here. When we return, last night in the NBA, and also a look ahead to the in-season tournament's Final Four, plus a reminder coming up at 8. Sam Amick from The Athletic. That's all straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
5 dealerships, 1 location. The Knight Group is now in Elk Grove with Elk Grove Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Elk Grove Subaru, Acura, Audi, and Volkswagen. If you're searching to service or shop for a new vehicle, Knight has it. Trucks, SUVs, sports cars, hybrids, EVs, you name it, Knight has it. Over 2,000 new and used vehicles to choose from, and the Knight Group makes it easy with expert financing, quick service, and a simple 2-step process to value your trade-in. So start and end your search at KnightHasIt.com. That's KnightHasIt.com.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers walked into Philadelphia and took care of business last Sunday, stopping the Dirty Birds 42-19. Quarterback Brock Purdy had 314 yards passing, while Deebo Samuel contributed 138 total yards and 3 touchdowns. The Red and Gold are now 1 game out of the top spot in the NFC and will look to keep their winning streak going when they face Seattle at home in Week 14.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with E.B. Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. E.B. Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust E.B. Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green. Hold on to your Santa hats because Elk Grove Kia is turning up the holiday heat with deals that'll leave you saying no money down. This Christmas, keep your wallet at home because Elk Grove Kia is making your dreams come true with 0 down payment. That's right, absolutely nothing out of your pocket to drive home in a brand new Kia today. Or if you're ready to slay the season in style, picture this: the award-winning 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, the hottest sled in town, for just $439 per month plus tax. You heard it right, only $439. So whether it's the sleek 2024 Kia Telluride or the no money down offer, Elk Grove Kia says 0 hassles and 0 worries. ElkGroveKia.com. Qualified applicant, 0 down, example, spot number GK9133, 48 month lease, 0 down, model number C3422, right, 24 month lease, 439 plus tax, 44.95, US Social Security, plus residual, 43,352, and if you're lease, GK9133 expires 12.
Elk Grove Kia. They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
On your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports.
Literally, every time this plays, going into the fourth quarter of the Kings game, Chris, you haven't worked a Kings game in a while. Do you happen to remember what I say? I think I say this every broadcast. Off air, we're in the commercial.
Man, it's been a couple of years. I have no clue.
Okay. And I don't know if this will refresh. I'm like, get them going fresh. I'd literally say every time the Kings are up 20, down 5, down 30, get them going fresh. Because this song will play and it'll be like, what's the first thing he says?
I think it's like, okay, Kings
fans.
It's the fourth quarter.
In 29 other, or whatever it used to be, 28 other cities, whatever. But this is our town, Sacramento, whatever. But he gets them going. And I mean, between him, Scott Moak, Mo Brazelton, Dan Spackman, the whole crew out there. I mean, the Kings are good now, and they're fun. They're entertaining. People enjoy going to the games. Those guys were rock stars when this team was winning 21 games.
Okay, Kings fans, we're down 15.
Let me hear you. But
that doesn't mean anything.
Yes, there's still a chance. And, it was never like, yeah, I'm not listening to you. It was like they're on their feet. They're going like, let's go. They're good at their jobs. They're really good at their jobs. Man, listen to Kelly too. I mean, we know this stuff, Chris, but I just think that I wonder how much of that state tax issue. I know agents utilize it. I know players now have got to be hip to it because you're like, oh yeah, I make X amount, but I'm not getting extra taxed here in this state.
I do think it's kind of, there are different taxes, but states get it in other places.
They do. I mean, there's obviously.
One of my friends told me he lived in Texas for a few years. And the funny thing I heard from him, he said, oh, I paid more taxes in Texas than I paid in California. It's like, what? How does that work? And he goes, the property tax. He's like, if you own your house, he goes, the amount of taxes that you're paying on your house is out of this world.
Really?
Compared to California.
Interesting, because California's enough to me.
And in Ohio, when I was visiting my aunt and uncle there, like, yeah, the taxes are lower, but they're like, the car registration is insane. He's like, we're paying 4 times there for our car registration than we were in California.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder what the net, you'd have to measure all that to see what the benefits are. Now, I mean, I think the people that are pro California go, well, there's a lot of amazing things here. Sure. We can make it a list of things that are frustrating and equally bothersome that have forced people to leave the state.
As like a kid growing up and meeting like people from the Midwest, and they're like, oh, I've never seen the ocean before. And it's like, how?
Yeah.
How is that a thing?
Yeah. I mean, this is where I've lived. I've been a lot of places, but I've lived here. I'm a Californian through and through. And I'm more of a positive. I love it. I love that, but it's not perfect, and we get it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. But nowhere's perfect.
True, and I think that's probably the thing. And I think in the end, and I don't want to say, can we give the athletes the benefit of the doubt when they say it's not about the money? Because all of us go, okay, guy who signs $18 million contract, it's not about the money. There's an element of truth maybe to that. There's an element of truth like, of course I signed here because they're giving me $18 million. But is it fit? Is it coach? Is it style? Is it where you grew up? Like,
I think it's a lot like that with anywhere. Like, what if someone came to me and said, like, you've got a job offer, Chris, and it's in Iowa. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, you're going to have to, what sacrifices am I going to be taking in Iowa to make more money, a better living situation? Right. Like, what would it take to get me from California to Iowa? Like, I think that's what everyone is thinking about with their situation, even in sports.
Yeah. And I think immediately, probably most people would go, oh, Chris got 2 times, 3 times the pay raise. Maybe that's true, but did you get something else? Was it, what they offered me was, I'm just going to part ownership in this company. Okay. Well, I don't have that where I'm at now, or the long-term benefit of that, if I stay there X amount of years, and like maybe you crunch some numbers, actually, this is probably beneficial for me in my life at this point.
But then there's a point. Okay, they are giving me this, but
is it worth it? It's Iowa, or whatever. Yeah, there's always the point and counterpoint. And I mean, for someone like Shohei Ohtani, who literally, I'm sure all 30 teams want, maybe some aren't pursuing him. Like, I don't think we can get him, or the financial sense doesn't make it. But he's got a choice of the whole pool.
Yeah,
and that's pretty
literally actually, I can't say literally every team. All but one team would want him on their team.
Do you think the Oakland A's have called Shohei Ohtani's
Absolutely
staff?
Not.
You don't think they've even called?
Not even once. Does John Fisher know who Shohei Ohtani is?
It just feels like that can't be. But you're thinking they didn't.
No.
That'd be interesting to see. I mean, I don't even know what they would offer, what they would feel I mean, honestly, if they called, don't you think they're pushing Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Like, look, we're signing you, but look what you're going to have, your opportunities to be in Las Vegas. And I don't know. In what, 2028, 2029? Where are you playing? I mean, that's
I hate that that's still not answered yet.
Right. Well, that's another one where, like, if I'm Shohei's agent, like, yeah, great. Okay, I hear what your offer is, if there is. But I have questions for you, Mr. Oakland A's representative.
Like, even I'm thinking about the Expos when they moved to
Washington.
Mm-hmm. They had RFK Stadium.
Right.
And it was the idea of like, oh, we'll play here for a little bit, but then we're going to get our brand new stadium, and it's going to be state of the art at the time, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
They don't have that in Vegas.
No, they don't. Last night in the NBA, again, a reminder coming up here in a few minutes, we're going to talk with Sam Amick, and we're going to get Sam's perspective on tonight's in-season tournament semifinals. You got the Pacers, you got the Bucks, you got the Lakers, and the Pelicans. Last night, though, we had the teams that didn't make it resume action. We had some interesting moments. Remember that Grizzlies-Pistons game we were hyping up? A tie game, Chris, going into the fourth quarter.
It's the fourth quarter.
Let me hear you, Detroit. Yeah. Woo! It's like semi-pro.
I was thinking of, have you seen the movie Pop Star?
No.
That's something that I think you would really like, but he's just like, all right, everyone on the left side, let me hear you. Yeah. On the right side. Yeah. All right, everyone in the upper deck, let me hear you. And it's just one guy.
I'm having a time of my life. So it was tied. And no, wait a minute. The Pistons were up too. Either way, close game. 34-18, fourth quarter. And the Grizzlies win. Losing streak extended to 18 straight for Detroit. Bane went for 49 in the win for the Grizzlies. They go to 6-14. Big night for Joel Embiid. He scored 50 against the Wizards. A couple of the games of note, you had the Timberwolves, I mentioned, kind of getting the benefit of the two games they got scheduled this week in the makeup for not getting to the in-season tournament knockout stage. They played the 3-16 Spurs and beat them by 8, so they go to 3-17 to the Spurs. The Timberwolves now a league best 16-4, 10-1 at home. We know who that home loss is from. That's the Kings, of course. Also, you had the Mavericks getting a trip dub from Luka, 40, 10, and 11 in a 50-point win over the Jazz. Warriors came from behind to beat the Blazers. And the Clippers and Nuggets played for the third time this year, but the Clippers got them. Clippers now have made it to 500. They're 20 games in at 10-10, 111-102. James Harden had 20 points and 11 assists, so the Clippers put it together a little bit. All right, that's it for this hour. When we start the next hour, our guy Sam Amick from The Athletic, he will join us. That is next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday, and after a soggy start to the day, expect rain showers to develop for midday and into early afternoon. We'll see a couple of passing showers. A little cooler today with highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Honda stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more feel-good words. Days is how long you have left to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Couple hours in the books. No Carmichael Dave with us today. Still under the weather, so we will see about Dave tomorrow. Tomorrow's show, we'll visit with Dave Richard, get the very latest on fantasy lineups for the week. Greg Papa as well. Friday Fun and Games. Good way to conclude the week. That's all coming up tomorrow. Kings will be back in action tomorrow. Feels like it's been forever since that Monday loss to New Orleans. And but tonight is the in-season tournament semifinals in Las Vegas. Let's check in with our favorite each week, Sam Amick from The Athletic joining us. Sam, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jay. I'm doing great, my friend.
Yeah,
good to be with you.
All right, good to be with you as well. I'm glad you're joining us. Carmichael Dave a little under the weather today, so he'll be back with us and you next week. Are you in Las Vegas for the tournament?
I am in Las Vegas for the tournament.
Okay. Your thoughts just in general so far, how we got here and what you expect tonight?
Should be interesting. It's very strange having covered the league a long time like yourself to have something new, where you're figuring out logistics. I come in yesterday and it's like, all right, T-Mobile Arena, where is that? Which casino is it attached to? And you get in there and the freshness of it, I think, is hitting everybody. And it, honestly, from a media standpoint, we go yesterday to have 4 consecutive practices and then media sessions with the 4 teams. And it seemed like the energy was kind of shared with players too. Guys come in and they found it really, really strange and odd, but in a good way. I don't know, I'm sure you saw the clip, but Giannis, it was his birthday yesterday and he's joking about how he's going to tell his kids that he had, it's the only time he had his birthday in Vegas. and they had a cake for him. They sang out on mid-court. Guys are talking about this unique experience, talking about how it's funny because I know they all make a lot of money, but they're legitimately excited about trying to win $500,000. So it's kind of different from all angles.
Yeah, the buy-in on the player level has, I think, been great, and I think people underestimated how much the competitive drive would get them. And what I'm trying to figure out, Sam, if the competitive drive is as much for certainly that extra cash, but being the first one to do this, do you think year 2, year 3, and so on has as much sizzle, or is this something that's gonna, we have to kind of wait and see on that?
Yeah, I think that's a fair concern. I was a little surprised yesterday to the money question that you had such candor from players about not only trying to win this prize, but imploring the league to increase the prize in the future. Just being honest, I don't think that probably lands that well with the fans, but money does talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I told somebody yesterday, it reminds me, the worst case scenario reminds me of the Elam ending when the NBA went to that in the All-Star game some years ago. And if you remember, when they did it in Chicago for the first time, it was a hit. And the All-Star game was back, and it was exciting, and the players were bought in. And then it fizzled out big time. You know what I mean? And now they're having to make other changes to make the All-Star game entertaining. So I think that's a concern. But I also just think it's good old-fashioned competition. And that might be the thing that means it doesn't fizzle out. It's actually, whether it's the trophy or just being able to say that they won, a lot of the guys did really, really genuinely talk about how, this is a reason that there's only around 450 NBA players. These guys are maniacs when it comes to competition. And they'd rather win and have a good time in Vegas than be on the regular schedule.
Yeah, part of me wonders, I think it's been successful, and I'm sure there'll be tweaks, whether that's, I don't know what the tweaks will be, but part of me wonders, Sam, if it needs to be longer or an extended time, maybe 2 different sessions. And my point being is, let's take the Kings, for example. It was a spirited game, Monday, intense. Well, they got knocked out, and that's fine. That's a reality, and not everybody's going to win this thing. But Friday already feels a little different, going to Phoenix and playing. And now you're still a very meaningful regular season they have to worry about, but there's a drop off already, and it's only December. I don't know what the league's counter to that is. Maybe they do this in, like they just had that run through of playing 2 games and 2 games at home, 2 on the road in that group setting. Maybe there's a second session in January to extend this. I don't know what the league is thinking about, and maybe they don't have to tweak a thing, but have you heard about any tweaks regarding this?
Yeah, I think tweaks are definitely coming. I don't know which ones. In fact, shameless plug today on the Athletic NBA Show podcast that'll be out later today to tomorrow. We're having a guy named Evan Wash on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Who is one of the architects. He's the VP of basketball strategy and analytics for the NBA. And while he wouldn't say this, he's kind of widely known as if you're giving credit to one person, which it was a group effort, but Evan had as much to do with this thing happening as anybody. And so I'm dying to ask him some of these questions. I think that, to me, the idea of having more in-season tournament games would be on the table, and that might eliminate the point differential problem that they had before, where you have 4 games, you inevitably are going to have a bunch of teams that are either 4-0 or 3-1, and then the point differential thing just got really, really messy. Chatter yesterday about, I don't think this is a next year thing, but I would be surprised if, I don't think it's in Vegas in perpetuity. I think it's probably going to change locations at some point. So stuff like that. And they were open from the beginning when they came up with this idea that it was going to be a work in progress and the changes were going to be part of it.
Interesting. I actually think there is a charm just to, winner goes to Vegas. There's a nice ring to that, whether that's a good one or not. That's interesting on a potential change of venues. Where are you thinking, like home sites or where else?
I don't know. I mean, the only city that was kind of mentioned yesterday was Miami. And if we're being honest, it's like whatever the player power ranking list might look like it's where do players want to go?
Makes sense.
This is This is if you want player buy-in, you have to do things that make players happy. And so, we'll see. There was a little pushback on that idea. I think people want to see how, Vegas looks for the first couple of years. But, again, I think change is going to be part of it for sure.
As far as the teams that are left, I mean, I think the league's got to be, relatively pleased here. You got some new faces. You got some consistent names that we know. Certainly having the Lakers there, which I would think of the 4 teams and location, that's going to be the team that's represented the most tonight. But there's always a lot of eyes and attention to the Lakers. It feels to me, Sam, that LeBron really wants this. Are you getting that same kind of vibe?
I am, but I think Tyrese Halliburton really wants it. Yeah. I think I'm trying to think of who else was having that kind of energy. I think that the Pelicans, who the Kings just learned the hard way, how they're a pretty motivated group right now. They're kind of relishing in that we're a small market team that nobody talks about nationally, like the Kings, but they seem to be pretty locked in at the moment. But yeah, LeBron, it's just amazing to me. I know we run out of ways to talk about it, but to see him coming up on his 39th birthday, do what he did the other night against the Suns, when you're talking about Kevin Durant, Devin Booker on the other side, I looked it up. That line that he had, and I'm forgetting the exact numbers now. It's like 26, 11, and 5, or in that neighborhood. It was only the second time in his incredible career that he's had that particular line or more, mainly because of the steals. He had 5 steals. And it's just like, how could he do something new at this stage? And so, but to your question, yeah, I think he knows it's going to be Laker Nation like crazy in Vegas. I think the game tonight is going to be, LeBron fan club and Laker fans everywhere. It's going to be crazy. I'm really curious to see, as we talk about the league trying to have this project be successful. I feel like this afternoon's game, might be a flop, if I'm being honest.
In what way?
The game could be good, but if you talk, Jay, you're talking about 2 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
So ratings, I cannot imagine being very good. And then the early feedback in Vegas in terms of crowd is that, first of all, Bucks and Pacers, like how many Indiana and Milwaukee fans are getting on a plane and coming out here? I had one of our colleagues who covers the Bucks was telling me that we have a mutual friend who is about as passionate a Bucks fan as you could possibly imagine, and he's also filthy rich. And he was telling him that he can't pull it off, that he wants to come, but it's just middle of the week and it's 2 p.m. and it's just too short notice. So the crowd, I think, will be interesting to watch in the first game. There were even rumors of and this is, I guess, a little loose speculation, but like deals where you could buy 1 ticket and get 3 free. Wow. I think they're probably working pretty hard to fill those seats today.
Yeah. Is there an answer? I saw when that came out before, it wasn't a Pacers Bucks thing. It was this game was slated to start at 2, no matter who was there. Why? Because even let's take a typical TNT or a national night, that East Coast game would start our time 4:00, maybe 4:30. This one's 2. Is there a rationale behind this?
I don't have the schedule in front of me. You might know it because you're talking all sports on the show, but it has been mentioned that they're just afraid of the NFL and that they're when is kickoff? Of today's game, what time would that be?
Well, it's going to be around 5:00. But also, if I tell you the game, it's the Patriots and the Steelers.
That's right.
It's not even a good game.
I knew that part. Right. Yeah, but it's
the NFL though.
Like NFL rating, it's still going to kill. The Patriots Bucks game. That's the only explanation I can kind of gravitate towards. But we talk about the possible changes. I don't know. Like, can you do one semifinal game one day and another, one night and the other the next night? I'm sure, then it's a little inequitable because one of the teams is going to have one fewer day of rest heading into the championship. I don't know what the solution is, but I feel pretty confident that 2 p.m. on a Thursday is probably not it.
Has there been any, to your knowledge, Sam, any pushback at all on? I did like that the games counted as regular season games. Anybody thinking it should be its own entity or separate than that?
Not hearing that as much as, frustration with the uncertainty of the schedule and what it does to a lot of teams. But what's interesting is you have teams that are, that are like, it's like found money because they actually got lucky and like their schedule got better because they lost in the in-season tournament. And then you have teams that got, for lack of a better way of putting it, got screwed. Like the Houston Rockets come to mind. This was a potential scenario that didn't happen, but still I think makes the point. Like if they had advanced in the tournament the way their schedule was set up, there was a scenario that existed where they would have been on the road for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And so from a packing standpoint, from a logistical standpoint, that would have been a nightmare. You've got, the details are escaping me, but like the Knicks, I think, feel like they got the short end of the stick here. You have stuff where it's like, all right, you lose in the in-season tournament, and now instead of playing against teams like the Bucks and the Pacers and the Lakers and Pelicans, you have two lower level teams that, your record just got better for the regular season because of who you're playing. Now, the Kings, I don't think, are in that camp because they're playing Phoenix. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, you could argue. I have two examples for you on this, Sam, because I think it hits home really for the Kings. So their reward is they advance, but they played a team in New Orleans. I mean, it should be tough, but that's a team they've had trouble with, and they ultimately lost. And then they get Phoenix, who they're going to play now for a fifth time. Where conversely, a team in their pool that's been really good, a nice surprise story is Minnesota, who went 3-1, but because of point differential didn't advance. So here they are with the best record in the league, and their two extra games they were added on this week. They got the two worst teams in the West. They got Memphis and San Antonio. They already beat San Antonio last night. I'm guessing they'll beat Memphis. And now they're going to get out of this. Yeah, they didn't make it to Vegas, but they'll likely be the best record at 17-4 when the week's over.
Yeah, that's tough. And I mean, to steal a line from Pelicans coach Willie Green, because I had asked him the other day just about if the tournament did not exist, like the idea that teams are sleepwalking through December. He goes, listen, I hear you, but I would not agree with that. He goes, our team knows as well as any, but the Pelicans lost in the play-in last year. And if they get one more win on, every win matters, So yeah, the Timberwolves, I mean, that could be the difference between them getting the 1 or 2 seed.
Sure.
And vice versa for a lot of these teams. I don't know the answer. The reality is if you're going to do something like an in-season tournament, you're not ever going to iron out all those wrinkles. You're going to have to, you can improve it, but you're going to have to reach a point where everybody like essentially says, listen, we are adding X amount of revenue to the pot by doing this. And that is going to come with a certain level of just get over whatever the consequences are.
Yeah. We're talking with Sam Amick from The Athletic. He's in Vegas tonight. Today it's the in-season tournament. You've got the semis. The teams did return to action yesterday, Sam. I saw that the Clippers won again. They had another matchup with the Nuggets. I think it's their third already this year. But here they are at 10-10. We were kind of poking at them at first when they couldn't win a game at all with James Harden. Now it looks like they're finding a little bit of a groove. What do you make of the Clippers now through 20 games?
Yeah, I mean, very interesting. I talked to James Harden recently about how he saw the whole situation, and he felt like they had a long runway. They were going to have time, but they don't have that much time. The West is tough, and you can't really fall behind. I have, generally speaking, not been a believer, but and I'm talking about them being title contenders. They're talented. They do appear to be figuring it out somewhat. It helps that Joku shot, 9 of 32 or whatever he was last night. Had a kind of a rare off shooting night. But they're long. They can defend like crazy. They do some offense for defense stuff with Harden and Westbrook, where Russ is, has actually kind of gone back to his pretty strong defensive ways, when he locks in. So I don't know. They're interesting, but one of the things I had talked to James about and PJ Tucker, who's on that team, is that if you look at super teams or attempted super teams, it's typically, and I'm stealing this kind of perspective from Clippers coach Ty Lue, usually it's two guards and a big, or two wings and a big. You got Kevin Garnett in Boston, Chris Bosh in Miami, Kevin Love in Cleveland. Point being, the bigs are typically the ones that end up sacrificing, and then the wings dominate. And this is such a different formula when you talk about having, 4, wings or guards. And it makes it hard. PJ had a quote that I put in the story that kind of captured it perfectly. He said, "There's not enough basketballs on the planet for this team." But they have had some good moments, and they obviously have a lot of talent.
Yeah, for sure. And again, getting them to 10-10 here at 20 games. We're basically a quarter of the way through. And with it not feeling like there is an elite team, I feel like there's a lot of really good teams. As we get closer to February and the trade deadline, we've already heard some rumors of names like Zach LaVine and a few others out there. Do you anticipate this being a really active year in a sense that, hey, if Team X adds one more player, they might be able to elevate themselves to the top of one of these conferences? Do you feel we're going to have a busy trade deadline?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know, where it's going to come from yet. We focus a lot on Chicago and Toronto. The Zach LaVine injury is, I kind of wonder how that impacts things because he's been on the market. I wrote about DeMar DeRozan recently. I'd be shocked if he wasn't moved somewhere. Toronto's got, OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam and a bunch of other guys that could be available. So, but your premise, I think, is on point because I would certainly call the Nuggets elite, and I think them losing Jamal Murray for a while and getting him back recently, the Nuggets are elite, but they also, if you say, is it like the Warriors back in the day when teams just they were paralyzed by fear? No, that's not the case with Denver. So if you think you have a good core, if the Kings are in this group, honestly, if you think you have a good core, but you look around and say, we're definitely not going to be elite unless we improve the roster, then you're probably going to work the phones like crazy. And I do find the Kings really interesting because, for one, you mentioned the Pelicans matchups. It's like, my goodness, it's tough to have 3 L's from the same team this early, but those games also exposed the Kings' lack of size. And, I think that is probably going to be a focal point as they look at the market. I think it'll be pretty active for sure. Yeah,
I think for Monty McNair, West, that whole front office, they're in a really interesting spot, Sam, because I think they're good. I think good is a nice, safe spot to say the Sacramento Kings are in. Now, good doesn't generally win you a championship unless you get just a boatload of breaks. So to get to that next level, it does feel like they need a talent upgrade. But they also watched a bunch of teams last year make some moves at the deadline that necessarily on talent, but didn't parlay them into wins. I'm speaking of like Dallas at the time last year that went backwards. Now they're better off this year. So I think the Kings are in that spot. I don't know how you feel. Like, they're good. They'll win a lot of games, but if they want to get to that great part that Mike Brown talks about, and I'm sure that Monty talks about, I really feel like they need to make a move. It's just that right move. They have to pull the trigger on that. I don't know what that is.
No, I'm with you. And I think they know that. I wish I had the story in front of me. When we had an off-season piece on the Kings and had a long interview with Monty McNair in that story, one of the most revealing statements he made was essentially like really candidly saying that the reason they felt good about their plan and their summer and their off-season was that they had an opportunity to look at what they had and to add a little bit to it, the Vezenkov addition, things like that, getting Barnes back, locking up Sabonis. They could look at it, but then from a flexibility standpoint, they were very well positioned when you talk about draft assets and contracts to be active on the trade market. And if you take what Monty said in the summer and you look at the results right now, then to me, in terms of a 2 + 2 = 4 logic, I would expect them to be very active because I don't think they have been good enough for them to say, you know what, this is evolving and growing and developing internally in the way that makes us feel like we're going to be title contenders. I just don't see it right now.
What do you think their best asset that they own is right now? Draft picks, or I know they certainly De'Aaron, Sabonis, but I don't think that's who they're looking to move.
Those guys are not going anywhere.
Yeah,
it's the draft assets, and I don't have the whole cupboard in front of me. as far as what they have. But I mean, certainly the ability to access multiple first rounders, pick swaps, things of that nature. They've got, darn near everything in front of them. Contract wise, listen, the guy that you're going to get the most calls on that I also don't think is going anywhere is Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
But that's somebody who, I guess because we all know in pro sports, never say never. Like if a star's name crossed their desk or a really, really good player, we were shocked when they traded Halliburton, but I don't think Keegan's going anywhere. There's going to be a lot of interest there. Barnes' contract, even though he's not playing all that well, is pretty palatable. And, I think as far as a money filler, he's a guy that could, be part of something. And then Kevin Herter comes to mind, and I admittedly, because I'm there all the time and I've enjoyed Kevin in terms of covering him, you end up feeling bad because he's like this. He is this little bit of the guy who gets picked on with this team where he plays well and everybody loves him again, and then he doesn't play well and it's his fault and he should be on the move. But I do think as far as just guys that will come up in conversations, he's certainly got value as well.
Yeah, I think you hit on two guys. Like I think Barnes gets picked on a bit. Certainly Herter does. I think Davion, based on where he is, and maybe an opportunity that's not happening as much here. But that's not how it's not how it always works. Hey, can you trade these guys and get that all-star in return? That's not the way this really works.
Yeah, the Davion one certainly could be on the move. It's just the value is gone in the wrong direction recently.
Yeah.
But all it takes is somebody else to have a different vision for a player than what we're seeing on the court right now. But yeah, to your question, I think it's the draft stuff that look at Toronto, for example. If they decided to finally pivot and actually rebuild, Scotty Barnes obviously is the center of what they're doing. Then those picks would come in handy, or a team like that. So it'll be, I think it'll be active for sure.
Well, I know you're going to enjoy your time there in Vegas. You there for the whole thing through Saturday?
I am. It's weird, man. I'll be honest. It's so weird to be out here in the winter.
Yeah.
Yesterday after the practices, because of the awful tragedy over at UNLV, the traffic was a disaster. So I decided to, this kind of speaks to the weather. I decided to just go ahead and walk from the arena to my hotel. It was almost 2 miles, and I'm walking and I'm sitting there going, this is so bizarre. I have a sweatshirt on in Las Vegas and I'm not roasting and it's pretty comfortable. And, it's not what we're used to. This is typically mid-July, 110 degrees outside, watching a bunch of lower level players do their thing. Having the stars out here in the wintertime is something different.
Well, we're going to enjoy your coverage, Sam. We always enjoy having you on. We look forward to talking to you next Thursday as well. Sam, be good, and we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Jay. Be good, brother.
All right, thank you. That is Sam Amick coming to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. We appreciate his insight as always, and if you joined in late or missed any part of Sam Amick's conversation, of course, you can go to SactownSports.com when the show is podcast up there, and you'll be able to listen to it at your convenience anytime of day. All right, break time for us. When we come back, 4 down territory back to the NFL. We'll do that straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
It's that time of year again. Sactown Sports is welcoming Santa back to town for the 40th annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 9th in downtown Sacramento. Grab the family and join us as we celebrate Santa's arrival with marching bands, superheroes, cheer squads, and more. Parade starts at 10 a.m. at 14th and N.
We'll see you Saturday, December 9th in downtown for the Santa Parade with Shriners Children's Northern California, California National Guard, and Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning. Get more information at SactownSports.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com. It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from in the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday, and after a soggy start to the day, expect rain showers to develop for midday and into early afternoon. We'll see a couple of passing showers. A little cooler today with highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
If the lights in your home flicker whenever you plug in the toaster or the breaker flips when you use the microwave, let us fix that. Bonnie's offering a free electrical panel inspection so you'll know exactly what's going on. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
This holiday season, create a fun and joyful memory for you and your loved ones. Come light the world and help those in need through the Giving Machine in the Roseville Galleria Mall, November 16th through December 10th. And in Modesto at Valley Fair Mall, December 11th through January 2nd. Choose from local charities serving your community or from global charities worldwide. Come feel the Christmas spirit at the Giving Machine. Learn more at givingmachine.greatersacramentomodesto.org.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Wells Fargo presents one of the surest ways to grow your money. A Wells Fargo CD account, where you can earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield on an 11-month term with a minimum opening deposit of $5,000. Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/CD rates to open a CD account and start growing your savings with us.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack.
but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
All right, again, our thanks to Sam Amick for joining us in our last couple of segments there. Always doing great work from Sam. Just a great rider, but so connected. Boots on the ground now in Vegas, as he'll be there for the Final Four. We got more on that throughout the show. Niners at 9 coming up. A little crosstalk at the end of the show. Celebrity birthdays today as well. And we'll have a couple of entertainment references. We'll see if you guys get those years and use that. Are they older or younger than Dumb and Dumber? That was kind of the theme of yesterday's celebrity birthdays.
That's how I see years.
Yes, a lot of us do. I mean, you can sometimes, I don't know how you do it with events. Like, certainly, I don't know, there's some years that are way clearer in my life.
It's like if you go to high school, like, oh, what were you doing in 2001?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I remember that. I was a junior in high school.
Yeah, and then you just kind of reference that, or this was on, this song was popular, this movie, this show. But then after you get past that or other significant years or, I don't know, rally points that you can really remember, then some of the years start to blend together. You're like, oh, is that 2000? It might have been around 2009. Wait, that was 2014? You know, like you could get off by years sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is the absolute worst when you're like, oh, that happened like
it was just a couple years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah. 9? It was 9 years ago? Yeah. Or whatever it might be.
The weird that like there are like certain like milestones. So like, oh, for a lot of us now, it's like, oh, that was pre-COVID.
Yeah, I think COVID's year, whatever it was, like year plus, like was the most. I think that time is just the most confusing of what was happening then, what happened before, just anything kind of around that. You're like, wait, was that before?
Yeah, like my big trip I always remember, it's like, oh, that was 2019 because it was before.
Yeah, right
COVID.
before.
Right before.
Yeah.
Like I thought I had it.
Yeah, and you might have,
huh?
Right? You might have. At that time, I mean, you don't know, right?
I think it was more of we were in a freezing cold city and they smoked everywhere.
and
my lungs were not used to that.
Would you have been better off smoking?
What's that?
Would you have been better off smoking?
I might as well have been smoking.
Exactly.
All right. That was tough because you would go, it would be freezing outside. So you go inside to warm up, but then you're hacking up your lungs, breathing in all the smoke. So you go outside and it's freezing.
It's like, this is a vicious
and
cycle.
I wonder how I got sick after that.
Yeah. What a weird thing. All right, let's do it, Chris. It's time for 4 down territory. 4 downs. All right, first down. What you got?
Remember Brady versus Roethlisberger?
I do.
Well, tonight, Amazon gives us Thursday Night Football with Zappy versus Trubisky. You fired up?
No, I'm not.
It's Amazon. Shouldn't we be able to return this?
You know what? That's a great point. You know what? Denied. Send it back. I want a better game. This is the classic example, and unfortunately, Dave's not here today. I'd be like, Dave, we can't be picky and choosy in August. We would be dying for a game like this. I'm not dying for a game like this. And I guess, you know what, Sam brought it up, Chris, and he's probably right. But I would really be I think the answer is this game will do better than the Lakers Pelicans, but it won't in my house.
I think it's just weird because that 2:00 start.
Well, for that one, but now I'm going to the
later one, the Lakers.
So like in prime time, like close to halftime to second half of the football game is when the Lakers are starting.
That has to be it.
What, the Lakers will do better?
Yeah.
I would think. I mean, you've got a brand name franchise as good as the sport gets in the Lakers as far as name recognition. And Patriots and Steelers normally is a big deal, but not this year, not this game. So, no, I'm not fired up. I'll check in on it. This goes back to, this is a me thing where Is it the biggest deal? No, but going back and forth between Amazon, it's not your typical next channel. You get there.
You have to go to your apps page.
Exactly. It's just a few extra steps. So
actually, that will probably be the one I look on my phone.
The game, and then like if it's good, then or you keep the game on your phone. But sometimes I go, ooh, wait, fourth quarter action. Oh, you know what? I better put that on. Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right, second down.
Who you got, Patriots or Steelers?
More on this game? I thought we were done with this game. I'll take the Steelers. I mean, it feels like a must-win for them. They're trying to stay in that playoff equation. Patriots are awful. They scored 0 points last week. This would be a bad day for Pittsburgh. So, yeah, give me Pittsburgh to win this one. Not a shocker over the Patriots. Third down.
Arizona and Washington have byes this week. Will anybody notice?
Oh, that's cold. Honestly, if that wasn't worded that way, I don't know that I would have. I mean, sometimes I watch the red zone, and I've done that before. I go, wait, don't the Panthers play? I'm like, oh, they just haven't shown that game.
Or it's like, man, there's not that many games in the early games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because 5 teams are out.
Yeah. The afternoon's always the weirdest one on red zone. Usually the Niners are playing in the usually, so then I watch them primarily. But if it gets to the red zone and there's like 3 games in the afternoon, you're like, yeah, I kind of like it when there's chaos with the 9 games.
Selfishly, I would just want them all to play at the same time.
Right. Yeah, just put everything, and then instead of the Octobox, they just go to, I don't know, all the games on one screen. I could watch them all. Put them all on there. I have no issue with that. They don't even need to talk. Just let them go. Sorry, Commanders and Cardinals fans, all 7 of you out there. Enjoy your bye week. Did you tell me earlier you're starting in your fantasy league Jake Browning this week?
Yes.
So did you pick him up last week or this week?
This week.
What's your quarterback situation? Obviously, do you have Trevor Lawrence?
I had Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
And before that, I had Kirk Cousins.
Oh.
And
so you're able to pick up Lawrence? Was he your backup already?
He was my
starter.
No, I was able to pick him up. It's an 18.
Okay, so
league.
there's chances to get other people. Okay. Damn.
Yeah, but everybody's out now.
So Browning's the guy.
Yeah.
Folsom High. Jake Browning. Jake. All right, fourth down.
It is T.O.'s birthday. Terrell Owens, if you don't know who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, thank you.
More to come on celebrity birthdays.
Yeah, that's right. Don't look ahead.
What is your favorite T.O. moment of his career?
T.O. has had an interesting career in a lot of sense. Like, I was looking at his stats. Found it hard to believe he only had 1 season where he caught 100 passes. Now he's got a bunch of 80 and 90. I mean, he's elite. He's a great receiver. But I thought he would have had more 100-catch seasons.
I think he's kind of forgotten about, too.
Yeah, and I think all time, is he like 3rd in catches? And he doesn't – it's weird that he's forgotten about because he's very high profile. Like, he doesn't want you to forget about him. But who was it that I was looking at? Did you know all the teams that he played for, by the way?
He played for the Niners.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yes. That's the order so far.
Cowboys.
Yep.
Bengals.
Yeah, there's one in between that I'd forgotten about. So he had San Francisco most of his career, Philly a couple, 3 in Dallas, the final year in Cincinnati, but his second to last year.
Denver?
Let me see. No, he played all 16 games. What did he catch that year? 55 passes, 829 yards, 5 touchdowns. This is at the age of 36. Had his career-long 98-yard touchdown in that season.
Tennessee.
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that's right.
I vaguely remember that, though, but not that well.
I remember him showing up in the airport in Buffalo.
So, okay, here's time and space and all that. What years, Chris, did he play for Dallas, roughly?
This is one of those, like, 2006 to 2009.
Wow, 2006 to 2008, you got it right on. I would have been like, 2012 maybe? No, he's been done since 10. He's 37, still try to keep going. I think for T.O., my favorite moments for him, I mean, as a Niner, his playoff catch against the Packers, I personally was a big fan of his celebrations.
Yes.
And so the popcorn, I love the Sharpie, the pom-poms. Like, that's to me is my T.O. memories.
My favorite was the star.
The star is pretty legendary.
That one, and then for, like, playing on a broken leg with the Eagles for the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl, man.
What was the story? Now, here's to talk about a memory that's fading. When he was doing sit-ups in the driveway. Remember that? Like all the media came out and filmed him. He's just ripped. I mean, he's a chiseled specimen.
Was it when he was a free agent?
Is that what it was? I don't even remember, but like everybody was out there,
Yeah.
and you could see him just doing his crunches and abs of steel, and it's like, what's happening here? I don't remember why that was. Someone on the text line or YouTube can certainly remind us, but I remember it being very high profile, us all getting a chance to see it. But happy birthday to T.O. Again, that'll come up a little bit more on celebrity birthdays. All right, break time for us here. That was 4 Down territory. When we come back, who's hot and who's not? More on the baseball front, as well as far as Juan Soto, now officially a member of the Yankees. We've got more straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL?
Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
When it comes to investing, you want someone that has your best interests in mind, not theirs. You want independent fiduciary advice from Cap Trust. Many pro athletes use Cap Trust to handle their finances. Hundreds of local families have done the same. Contact Kelly Brothers at captrust.com.
This advertisement does not constitute a solicitation, investment advice, legal advice, or recommendation to invest in any securities. Cap Trust Financial Advisors is an investment advisor registered under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family.
License number 1057618.
49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers walked into Philadelphia and took care of business last Sunday, stomping the Dirty Birds 42-19. Quarterback Brock Purdy had 314 yards passing, while Deebo Samuel contributed 138 total yards and 3 touchdowns. The Red and Gold are now 1 game out of the top spot in the NFC and will look to keep their winning streak going when they face Seattle at home in Week 14.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with E.B. Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. E.B. Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust E.B. Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green. Amazon will be delivering packages to your house. Let Amazon deliver customers to your business? If that sounds good and you want more in 2024, simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105. Hey there, listen up, Sacramento. Ready to make this holiday season unforgettable? Well, we've got something that'll have you jingling all the way. Picture this, a brand new 2024 Kia Forte LXS for only $279 per month plus tax with no money down. No, I did not stutter. No money down. That's right. Zip, zero, nada. Elk Grove Kia is spreading the joy this Christmas, and we're making it easier than ever for you to drive home in style. So why wait? I will say it again. Head on down to Elk Grove Kia and drive home your new 2024 Kia Forte LXS today with absolutely no money down. Elk Grove Kia is your go-to destination for top-notch quality and unbeatable service. Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or go to elkgrovekia.com.
$279 plus tax, 0 customer cash, signing residual of $10,000, 250 days, and 10 year 26 per mile over 0 security.
Elk Grove Kia. What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more. What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right, Christopher Laud, we asked those two very important questions today, and you have it for us. Who's hot, who's not? Let's start with the first one. Who is hot?
You got sausage arms and cankles.
Really? You're going to do that today?
Yep.
Luka
Doncic. Yesterday against the Jazz, he got a triple-double.
Yeah.
An insane triple-double. 40 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists.
It's absolutely insane.
It is insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's a chunky.
Yeah. And they won by 50.
Yeah. I'm going to start saying this. I think the Mavericks are a little scary.
Because?
Of Luka and
Kyrie? Yeah, what's different this year? It's just a full year together, an offseason together, a plan. Now, when their roster construction, I don't love their overall roster, but those two guys are pretty special. But we've seen other super teams kind of fade out or not work. So we'll see. We'll see in the long term. But right now, so far, so good for Dallas at this point. Kings beat them, though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. And the odd part about the Kings, they seemingly are having trouble with the same teams. Right, the Kings have lost to the Pelicans now 3 times, the Warriors a couple times, the Rockets a couple times, and you got the Clippers loss. But if you look at the top of the NBA standings, and especially in the West, I mean, Sacramento's already defeated the top team, Minnesota, in their building, given their only home loss. Oklahoma City's the 2nd seed, beat them. The Denver Nuggets, the 3 seed, beat them. And the Dallas Mavericks, the 4 seed, beat them. The team who's the 5th seed, Lakers, beat them twice. They're undefeated against everybody above them.
Yeah.
Now they're not playing up to they're playing up to the competition. Is that what it is? Suns are the team right below them. They play them tomorrow. Pelicans 2 spots below, 0-3. Clippers below them, 0-1. Rockets below them, 0-2. Warriors below them, 1-2. And then you get the Jazz.
I guess the good thing is as long as those teams don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Have they played? They've played. Let me see. There are 2 teams. Let me see if you can do this off the top of your head. 2 teams in the West that the Kings have not played yet.
The Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
And they have not played They played the Spurs. They played the Mavericks. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
It's tomorrow night's opponent.
Oh, the Suns.
Yeah. There you go. In the East, I think it's only just the Cavs so far. Yeah. Just the Cavs. So the Kings have a ton of Eastern Conference games coming up. All right, so that's who's hot, Luka Doncic. Who is not?
College is keeping players. We were talking about that earlier about all the players entering the transfer portal. 1,184 to be exact. That's how many were in the transfer portal on Monday. That's up from 775 the year before, which everyone thought was insane. That is an increase of 53%.
Now, keep in mind, you can go in the portal and come right back to the school. But I feel like once you start that wandering eye and you're looking around, probably best that you go.
And if you're a school, you already got to assume that they're gone.
Because you're looking for the replacement. You're looking for, okay, you're entering the portal. We're looking for your portal replacement or a high school replacement. I wonder what's going to become more important for schools, and it's probably going to be the healthy balance, but recruiting is the whole lifeline of these programs. You need to get high school stars that build your program that you hope to be there for 4 to 5 years. But maybe it's the combo of that versus JC versus, transfer portal guys.
Yeah. It's going to be like money people. Like, okay, I could get you this, this, and this.
Right.
Come to Alabama.
Man, I know it's different, and we can't put ourselves in that. I just can't imagine if we were in high school right now, Chris, and we were good enough to be considered to go to any school to play sports, what I would be looking for. And I think that would get difficult where it's like, no, I just want to play. I want to continue playing. I play football. I like football. I want to play football in college and go to a school and continue, working towards whatever I want to do in my life. And I'm not talking about the people that think they can go pro, but I don't know what I would be if I would look for anything, but then all of a sudden school X says, oh, yeah, we'd like you to come here and we're going to pay you and we're going to give you this. Oh, wait, that's an option? Wait, what else would another school would do? And I don't know if that's how this whole thing starts.
And the idea is like you're going to, I mean, the colleges use these kids to begin with.
Sure.
But the colleges is using them and it's like, okay, I am going to do my absolute best for you.
Yeah.
So I could get a better option in the
Right.
transfer portal.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, you might groom them and you're like, yeah, we recruited you. We found him. We found the gem. Wait, you're leaving? We found you. We kind of helped grow you, but now you've built yourself up and you're leaving. I think there's a lot of different examples. I appreciated yesterday's honesty from new UC Davis football coach Tim Plow when he said, I basically would not be a coach if it wasn't for my own failed. Like he basically was calling out his college career. And because of some of the mistakes and the lack of what he wanted to become, it helped put him into coaching. And that's pretty amazing. And now, in a sense, the school is getting back now what they were probably wanting from him as a player. So pretty odd there. So that's who's hot, who's not. Some other notes here before we break for our final hour. If you missed it yesterday, one of our stories we had in leading off, Juan Soto, the newest member of the New York Yankees, as he was a part of a trade. Now, he's a free agent after this year, so the Yankees have to decide if it's just kind of a one and done for him or not, or if they're going to invest in him in a long-term deal. And Shohei Ohtani, we continue to wait on his ultimate signing. You like Shohei Ohtani a lot. I know you do, yes. Chris. Will you were a Red Sox fan. I think you're more of an Ohtani fan. Would you jump on board that team or just Shohei?
Just Shohei.
Yeah, so no matter, I mean, unless I can't even think of a team that would make you convert to them. You're just more of a Shohei guy.
Maybe I should enter the baseball
portal.
Fan portal.
How would we recruit you? Or is that up to each team?
It's up to each team.
What are they going to offer you?
Yeah.
That would actually be a pretty funny thing if fans had a portal.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I'm offering my services.
To all Major League Baseball teams.
Yeah.
What would it take? I'm here representing the Oakland A's.
Okay.
What would it take, Chris, for you? You've been to some of our games. I've got some information here that you've been to some of our games.
Oakland A's, very simple.
Yeah.
Cold hard cash. That's all I am accepting from you.
That sounds like a cash grab.
It does sound like a cash grab.
We don't have a lot of those.
Cash grab.
To our not a lot, but we can promise you some. There's some headwinds out there. So, what if we went well below what everyone else is offering you?
That's it?
Yes. We could probably offer you about $50.
Nope, not going to do it. I'm going to need at least 3 figures.
3 figures. I like the fan portal idea. That could catch on.
See, but hey, Giants fans.
Yeah.
I mean, you need some more people in the building.
Yeah.
You need people talking about them.
What would it take to get you in San Francisco? 3 figures?
I want like box seats for a Shohei Ohtani starting game. Now, if they get Shohei Ohtani, that should be very easy.
Then you have a lot more choices.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put the pressure back on them
to
get Shohei Ohtani. Then it's just one night they have to offer you box seats. And then you're in.
I'm in.
You're wearing Giants gear. You're buying Giants gear. You're buying Ohtani gear.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how it's done, people. Follow the money. The fan portal. Coming to a fan near you.
Cash grab.
Yes, for sure. Break time for us when we come back. Niners at 9. What a week it was last week. But you can't overlook. Hey, the rivals are coming. Seattle. You can't overlook them. Opportunity for the 49ers this week to create substantial distance in the NFC West and further put the pressure on the Eagles, who get the Cowboys this weekend. We've got Niners at 9 next on Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you got last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day. Available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Subcontractors, grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, so lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Honda stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more feel-good words. Days is how long you have left to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Big play coming up, 3rd down and 5. Purdy looks left. Purdy throws left. Caught. You know who? Juwan Jennings breaks a tackle. Touchdown! San Francisco!
If you're going to come with a zero blitz, the 49ers are going to spray some raid on you. And Juwan Jennings, 3rd and 5, runs the man beater.
Oh, man.
Tim was on one.
I mean, spray the raid, man beater. There's a lot going on in that. They were having fun yesterday. I do have to. This is a funny story I could share. Funny to me, Chris, because we listen to these cuts. We have Greg Pop. He'll be on with us tomorrow, Niners at 9 on our Folsom Lake Honda hotline. So last weekend, I don't know what we were doing. We were doing some stuff in the house, like moving stuff around different rooms. And so at one point, I always record the Niner game. I was recording it, but watching it at the same time. So I'm like, well, I can go back to whatever I missed. So I had it on in one room, but we're moving boxes around. And then I had my phone with the app on, Sactown Sports app, and listening to Papa and Ryan. That was kind of where we were moving stuff too. So I was kind of in and out. Now, in full transparency, the app it's behind.
Yeah.
So like a decent amount behind. And I was, it might have been, I can tell you which touchdown it was exactly. Let me see here. It was this one. I'm going to play this. No, I won't play it yet. So it was the Ayuk touchdown that they finally scored. And we saw it in the moon. We saw it on TV first with my wife and I. And I said, while we were moving boxes into this other room, I said, oh, this is going to be fun. We're now going to hear it. Because you could hear it in the background from the other room, but we're now going into that room and we're a play behind it. Yeah. It hasn't happened yet. I said, oh, you know what's going to be great? Is Greg Papa's going to say, you know, I did a little bit of the description of the play. Caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, San Francisco. And then they're both going to go, Ayuk is on fire. And she's like, that's very specific. And then what happened?
Bunch right, Ayuk, Jennings, Debo. Debo goes in motion left, return motion behind, handheld play action, a roll by Purdy. Purdy get a pump throw for the end zone, caught by Brandon Ayuk. Touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
I think when I first said it, I go that he's going to say, touchdown. I didn't do the touchdown. San Francisco caught by Ayuk. Ayuk is on fire. And then I go, no, wait. It's going to be touchdown. And then that whole thing. She's like, wow, how did you know? I said, well, I don't want to say they're predictable, but I mean, one, it was Ayuk. It was an exciting play, and I knew they would do that. Ayuk
it's their their calling card.
I like it. It's good. I like that. So anyway, fun game. They played well. They deserved to win. There was some other drama in the game. But now I think what's interesting for the 49ers is it's not that they didn't have expectations, because they did. They do. I talked with yesterday at Niners at 9 with Emil Fergoso. Like, look, this is basically it's Super Bowl or bust. It doesn't mean they're breaking up the team if they don't win the Super Bowl. And Dave has even asked the question, is it like a failure? I hate those words and those absolutes, but it doesn't matter how I think of it. I think they will deem it that way. They're not going like, hey, that's cool. We got the NFC Championship game. Or we made the playoffs. That was fun. Nope, that's not the way this team has been measured over the years. That's not the way they're measuring themselves now. And they've got the team that can do it. And so it's not like it's a hope or a wish or a prayer. Like, hey, if everything goes right, you still need good fortune. You need breaks, but you have to have talent. And they have the talent to do it. But what is it like now with, and what I say is expectations, not their own, what others now have put on this team? The 49ers, now according to Las Vegas, have the best odds, the number one odds to win the Super Bowl. I mean, in the end, that doesn't really mean anything, but they're the betting favorite to do it. Brock Purdy is now the leader in the MVP race. I told you my leader is still Christian McCaffrey. That's probably a hill that I'm more alone on than others.
I think if he has like some monster games.
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
I don't know why. If it's just the blanket statement, Chris, he's not a quarterback, then I think that's unfair.
Yes, I 100% agree.
I mean, I don't know the answer to this, but I believe now we get back to semantics on every kind of award. What does MVP mean? And that's back to something that's probably different criteria for everybody. Most people think the most important position in football is quarterback. I'm not even here to disagree on that, but Christian McCaffrey means so much to this team. Look, he's getting all of the check marks that you want in an MVP. Stats, value as far as what you mean to a roster, how much better they are with him. To me, this is what I've said about the Niners. The way they're constructed, if they didn't have Christian McCaffrey, it's a really good football team. They're special with Christian McCaffrey.
Do you know the last player to win the MVP that wasn't a quarterback?
I believe, if I remember right, is it still Adrian Peterson?
No. Oh, yeah.
09, 11?
2012.
Okay, so back to the years blending together. Before that, though, it was more common. Sean Alexander, I think, in whatever year that was, 06, 04.
05. And it was that was a weird one. It was Sean Alexander in 05 and then LaDainian Tomlinson in 06.
Any other running backs in the 2000s or early 2000s?
Marshall Faulk, 2000.
Okay. So they had Kurt Warner. Like, do they win the games without Kurt Warner? Probably not. Do they win the games without Marshall Faulk? Probably not. Like, you need all of it. But I really
feel
feel
the
like
last defensive player.
Defensive player?
Yeah.
Why is their name Hugh Green coming to my mind? Or is that Heisman? I don't know. He wasn't Heisman. Is there a defensive player?
Uh-huh.
I don't remember.
It is. Oh, dang it. This just froze on me. It was, I'm trying to get the year. Lawrence Taylor in 86.
Oh, he won the MVP. I didn't realize he won the MVP. But yeah, if you're that dominant, if you're controlling a game, if you're making your team that much better, why can't it be any position, honestly? So I don't want to say it's lazy to pick Purdy. I mean, Purdy, and this isn't about slamming Purdy or Prescott or Jalen Hurts. They're all having great years. I just think Christian McCaffrey, one, is above the red. Like, how do you pick right now between Purdy, Prescott, and Jalen Hurts? What's your measurement? And when you're actually doing statistics, I think Prescott's and Hurt, like, they have more touchdowns. All right, is that the end all be all? Probably not. But what are you measuring it on between those three? Where McCaffrey's above the field in running and in touchdowns and the versatility as a receiver, he is so important to their offense. And he's just having a great statistical year. You can have guys that have huge value, like Trent Williams, we know means a ton to that team. But you also have to have the statistics to back it up. So me personally, I'm pro McCaffrey in that right now, but I also wouldn't say he's the only choice. There's no other options. This is over. That's not the case. I felt a lot better about Christian McCaffrey at the very beginning. I remember when he was scoring every week. Now he had, I think, 2 weeks where he didn't, but he's right back on the train this last week. I mean, he's absolutely incredible. So how does this team handle those circumstances in this week's game when they play a Seattle team that is good? The Niners have had good control over them, beating them 3 times last year, beating them already 2 weeks ago. But you can't have a let up if you're San Francisco. If you win this game this week, you're putting Seattle at 6-7. 49ers would then be 10-3. And I think your only chance of catching you in the NFC West, even if you don't feel like that's really a concern, would probably be the Rams because you still play them again. But you're pretty much putting a wrap on the division.
I think those 3 losses, got them to be like, okay, we can't take anything for granted.
Yeah. And the fact that they were in a row, right? I mean, if you think about when it happened, it was after the Cowboy game. So the Cowboy game happened Sunday night. That was kind of a marquee game. We know the Cowboys had circled it. Week 5, national TV, Sunday night, football night in America. And then it's like, wow, who's beating the 49ers? Well, then the Browns, Vikings, and Bengals did. And
all games that people are like, oh, there's no way they lose this.
Yeah, I really felt like the Vikings one sticks out the most. Now, obviously, they had Cousins then, but still. Browns, we knew would be tough defensively, and there was rain and whatever, but still, they lost. Vikings, Bengals, to me, was the one that was like a 2-score game most of the game, and Burrow carved them up. And
yeah.
Maybe they're not as good as I thought.
I was in Cincinnati for that game.
Oh, how are they feeling there? I know it was here.
I mean, they were feeling great about the team until they were. I remember them times like, oh, it was a little bit scary about Burrow going down early, but he's back in it and he's getting in the groove.
Yeah.
And then he goes down. I was like, oh.
Yeah. But since then, I mean, here they go. 34-3 Jags, 27-14 Bucks, 31-13 Seahawks, and then this last week, 42-19 against the Eagles in a game that meant the world to the 49ers. So how do they handle these expectations? How do they make sure it's not a trap this week with Seattle, a team that has so much knowledge of the Niners, but the Niners have had control of them? And how do they do this going forward from after that? Then you just kind of have to lock in on the Cardinals, Ravens. That'll certainly test them. Commanders and Rams. A couple other notes. We had someone send this earlier on the YouTube, and I appreciate that and failed to mention it, but we brought him up. I think, was it yesterday? It was yesterday that was Robbie Gould's birthday. Today, the 10th all-time leader in scoring from the NFL officially retired from the National Football League. So any other comebacks from Robbie Gould not happening, as he had some good moments. He ended up being a good Niner. I remember when the 49ers signed him, and he had already been around a long time. I thought, I don't know how much is left for Robbie Gould. Well, he had several years left. He was super consistent, very reliable, and that's what you want in a kicker. And at times, maybe he had other guys at the end of his career with more powerful legs, but hey, it's about making the kicks. No, he had the big kick a couple years back. He had to send the Niners to the NFC title game. when they had to worry about the snow there in Green Bay. So he was a good Niner. He's a good NFL player, 10th all time in scoring. Robbie Gould officially retiring from the National Football League. All right, break time for us. When we come back, more NBA news as far as tonight's in-season tournament. Also, sometimes we were talking earlier with Sam Amick about trades that are made, but sometimes it's about the trades that weren't made. We'll tell you about one that would have changed the entire landscape of the NBA that could have happened, that almost happened, but didn't. And now probably the rest of the world is better off for it. We'll explain next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTRCM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
This segment is brought to you by Light the World Giving Machine.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Right back here on the show, taking you till 10. Then it's Styles and Watkins. Of course, the Drive guys this afternoon. Whitey's in, and Jerry Reynolds today. Kyle Draper with the day off. Always good to have Jerry in studio when he's available. And then back to all the crew tomorrow. We hope for Dave. We're not sure. Hopefully he's feeling better. And we know a lot of that stuff's going around out there. So be safe. Be careful out there. Take care of yourself. If you get that opportunity to do so, just be smart about those decisions going forward. We mentioned this going to break. We really mentioned it with Sam about the NBA trade deadline. I do get that feeling, whether you're talking about the Kings come February or sooner, that, I mean, would be a general blanket statement, I feel, about the Sacramento Kings present day of them right now. Tomorrow's game 20. It's a good time to take some inventory on the team a quarter of the way through the season. I think the Kings have a good roster. I think it's a good team. I think there's another step, though, that still needs to happen. Whether it's their own internal player development and improvement, which is a step and is possible. But sometimes you need a boost. You need a little kickstart, and that might be a trade. I don't have the trade. I don't have a name that I say this is what will produce that for certainty. I don't think anybody knows that. But
like a few years ago, you wouldn't have said, oh, the Kings need Sabonis.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it logically made some sense. I had heard his name before, but like how and what are you going to do to get him? How do you get him? What's it going to cost you? But the construction of the way the team is built now, you see a lot of good things, but you also, when you play teams multiple times, like they have the Pelicans, I would not want to see the Kings play the Pelicans in the postseason. Doesn't mean they can't beat them, but they've had a lot of trouble. That has not been easy. We saw them play about as well as they can for maybe 9 minutes of a quarter. And then by the end of the quarter, they're only up one. And because some of the things the Pelicans did to Sacramento with their bench, with their defense, with their ability to be their length on the perimeter and interior and shooting ability, seems like a tough matchup for the Sacramento Kings. There's other teams they've been able to do quite well against. So I think they're good. I'd like to see them get great. How do you get great? Sometimes you make that trade. Sometimes it's a trade you don't make. And Chris, we were talking about a story. You sent me this, and we were it was close to happening apparently years ago, and I don't even know how many people knew of this story. But Steve Kerr, now coach of the Golden State Warriors, was the general manager of the Phoenix Suns.
It's hard to remember that.
I know.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
People remember him as an analyst. I mean, he was a pretty good analyst on TV as well. But Steve Kerr had what he thought was a deal basically in place on draft night in 2009 for the Phoenix Suns to get Steph Curry. And according to Kerr, they saw him as kind of the next Steve Nash, like pretty clearly, pretty soon. They wanted to get him and let him grow, develop, and be a big part of Phoenix Suns' future. Well, things happened for a reason. He was drafted by the Warriors, obviously got his career going there. Steve Kerr ultimately becomes his head coach. And though those two guys have produced a lot of winning together, but I wish we could hear more of those things. Just even if it's in passing. Oh yeah, we almost had this trade. It was all done, but this part didn't happen. Or just even what was thought about. Wow, they really wanted to get Steph Curry that badly. Some thought he shouldn't have dropped to 7. He did. We know the Kings had their chance to get him. They took Tyreek Evans at the time. They were very happy with him. History would show that obviously Curry's the far better player and far better career. But you have to go through it. And that's the other question that always comes up with things like this. Is it environmental? Like if Steph Curry was a King, would he have had the same career that he did now? I think logically you go, of course he would. You don't know. Environment, coaching, situations, I think those have impacts.
I think about that a lot because there was talk about the Kings really like Steph in the workouts, and they picked Tyreek Evans.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, man, the Kings would have had 4 championships, would they?
Yeah. I mean, did it take – Steph, I think in the end, the great player, I think it's in him. I think it's there. But did Steph need all of the combinations? Is it Clay and Draymond and just everything the Warriors ended up becoming?
And then thinking like, okay, would Cousins have been Steph's Draymond?
Yeah.
Or would Cousins be like, no, this isn't your team, this is my team?
Yeah. Would they have hurt each other? Would they have been better off for one another? I don't know the answer to that. We never saw it happen. So those kind of things are unique. Something else that's unique tonight too, and I think this is good. Tonight we mentioned today, as Sam told us, the 2:00 start for the semifinals in Las Vegas between Indiana and the Milwaukee Bucks. And then, of course, you got the 6:00 game, which will be the Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans. But what they're doing is kind of what we would call, a crossover broadcast? Is that what they've got going on, Chris?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So it looks like the TNT guys are going to join the ESPN guys for pre and post game and vice versa.
And you know what's cool about this? Like this kind of stuff, and it's happening more and more across media. Like it was basically taboo to have a Chiefs-Raiders game on CBS and then promote 49ers Cowboys on Fox.
Yeah.
They do it all the time now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or, NBA will now do those graphics like across our platform, the other platforms on NBA TV, on ABC, this is on ESPN. Well, ESPN shares them, but TNT might do it. And I don't know, in full transparency here, like and I'm sure you've had this happen, Chris, where people might go up to you, hey, no offense, but I listen to the other guys, to ESPN, to Damian and Kenny sometimes. Like, that's not offensive.
My family tells me that.
Right. I go, well, one, I mean, Damian, you and I have been friends with him for a long time. Like, I listen to them as well. I'm not listening to them exclusively at the, of any indifference to any of our shows. It's just you pop in, you check in. I want to see what they're doing. Or I'll have seen stuff that they do. I think there can still be competition, but it doesn't have to be like, oh, don't talk about them.
Yeah.
Don't bring that up. Don't ever say that. We're not talking about,
it's so weird, like with my connection with it. Damian, I know for years. Kenny, I went to elementary school with him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. Okay.
Our Savior Lutheran School.
How about that? Would he tell the same story
about
going to school with you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just kidding. But
we're on the same basketball team together.
I think there was a day and age where it was like, absolutely, hey, no word of them. We don't mention the competition. But I appreciate what ESPN and TNT, like they're all doing the same thing. And I'm assuming sports fans, I don't watch TNT because of this person. No, I like the NBA. And I'm probably watching TNT because of that person. Or I'm also watch ESPN. Or there might be an announcer or someone you're like, I'm not as big of a fan of them, but I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
And so when you're all kind of doing the same stuff, I I don't root for anybody to have failures. Certainly you root for the best of your own interest and the people you're closest to. But I'm glad they're trying stuff like this. It's fun. It's different. Right?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Especially with it's an in-season tournament, so it gives you the perfect excuse to do it.
Yeah. Want to try something that's more like league supported too. And I think some of those things can benefit. And then the reality of all of this stuff is more times than not, you end up, people jump too. It's like, if you were saying something so harsh, if you were you could do it from athletes, and you're a Sacramento King, you're like, oh, I know what to say. I hate the Warriors, hate the Lakers. Oh, now you're a Warrior Laker. Like, so what happened? Like, how do you?
Johnny Damon is the perfect example of that.
So did he verbally say that he hated the Yankees? I mean,
he didn't say that he hated the Yankees. He said that there's no way I'm going to the Yankees.
Right.
And he even said, I know at some point they might offer me a contract, but I just can't do it.
And what happened?
He signed with the Yankees.
Exactly.
For just a little bit. And it's just like, okay, you want to go to another team for like more money. Fine. Absolutely. Yeah. You could do that. But just don't say that I'm not going to do it.
Ever.
And then do it. And then later on he went to the Yankees. Then he signed with the Tampa Bay Rays because he's from Florida and stuff like that, kind of going home. So like, okay, cool. And then it was the Red Sox making a push for the playoffs, and it was they made a trade for Johnny Damon, and he had a no trade clause.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, no, I can't do that to the Yankees. It's like, what are we talking about?
You're all over the place. Yeah. I mean, that is the reality, though. These opportunities come up, and if people, I mean, some people are going to hold them to their word. You said this before. Yeah, I did. But that could be also how they felt then and there. But it's such an absolute. That's why I think really absolutes are just the most dangerous thing to say.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's no way they're going to lose this game. And then when they lose, well, I meant if this, like, well, you said it this one way. Though.
Yeah.
You were so emphatic about that it just burns you in the fact if they end up losing. Even silly stuff like, who were we talking about? Mad Dog, when he's like, if the Diamondbacks come back, like, I'm going to quit my job. Like, why would you? I know you're saying that for the moment, but then it's like, truly, I would have much more respect for you if you quit your job, but I don't lose respect in a sense. It's just like, that's a silly thing to say.
And if you
don't want to quit,
if you beat our prices, I'll give you the keys to the store. Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Figuratively.
And by new, I mean used. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That is what to check out tonight in the NBA. And I think I'm anxious to see the in-season tournament too, in this crossover event. This evening. When we come back, what to watch tonight? Of course, that's partly what you're going to have to check out. There is football. There are choices out there. And still to come, we have crosstalk with Styles and Watkins, including a pretty good edition of Celebrity Birthdays. That is all coming up here on Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open. Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday, and after a soggy start to the day, expect rain showers to develop for midday and into early afternoon. We'll see a couple of passing showers. A little cooler today with highs in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Pat Green and Diamond Rio live in concert Saturday, December 9th, 7 p.m. The venue at Thunder Valley. Country music icons Pat Green and Diamond Rio with special guest Mark Wills. On sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com.
Pat Green and Diamond Rio.
49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers walked into Philadelphia and took care of business last Sunday, stopping the Dirty Birds 42-19. Quarterback Brock Purdy had 314 yards passing, while Deebo Samuel contributed 138 total yards and 3 touchdowns. The Red and Gold are now one game out of the top spot in the NFC and will look to keep their winning streak going when they face Seattle at home in Week 14.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered in valuable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive, both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf Digest sins of slow play suggest precious time is wasted waiting for your turn to hit. If you're on the other side of the fairway, you can take your practice swing while someone else is playing their shot. And if you're walking, when you get to the green, leave your bag closest to the next tee box. Golf is social, but tell your great story while you're walking the fairways and not on the tee box or putting green. Next, don't be delusional. If there's only a remote chance of reaching the green or clearing a hazard, just lay up. The group behind you will love you for it. If you have to take a call, move away, and maybe even sacrifice your involvement in the hole to keep things moving. And last is not hitting the ball. PGA Pro Mike Bender wrote golf's 8-second secret and argues that the time from when you set your lead foot, step over the ball, and swing to finish should take 8 seconds, but most take twice that long with practice swings, waggles, and whatnot. For a bogey golfer, that's an extra 12 minutes times 4 golfers. Remember, golf is a game. Have some fun, but do it expeditiously. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Well, hello there. It's Santa Claus, and I'm checking my list to see who's been naughty or nice.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Santa. About that list, I've been a little bit naughty this year.
Oh, my. Naughty boys get a lump of coal in their stocking, you know.
Yeah, lump of coal. But guess what, Santa? Elk Grove Kia came to the rescue.
Elk Grove Kia? What do they have to do with your naughty deeds?
Well, Santa, they gave me a great deal on a new Kia, the highest-rated mass-market vehicle in J.D. Power's U.S. dependability study.
What?
No lump of coal for me this year, old man.
A Kia, you say?
Yeah,
Well, what about your challenged credit?
Well, Santa, unlike you, Elk Grove Kia doesn't judge guys like me. They looked beyond my troubled past and still sold me a fine new Kia. Look.
Well, I never...
Sorry, Santa, but Elk Grove Kia has your sled beat this year. So while you're busy with the lumps of coal, I'll be cruising in style in my new Kia.
Okay, I suppose Elk Grove Kia is on the nice list this year.
Naughty or nice, Elk Grove Kia believes everyone deserves a second chance. Elk Grove Kia, spreading joy, one car at a time, in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or elkgrovekia.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
All right, what to watch tonight? Chris, if I remember right, you're not a fan, or you think it's overhyped, overrated, Christmas Story, correct?
Yeah.
Is the movie just on itself, like just you watching it, good, bad, just okay?
I don't think it's a good movie.
Okay. Do you watch Christmas movies specifically? Like at this time of year?
Like, do I have to watch like specific movies?
There's like family tree, like, hey, we're now kind of in the season, like, at least between now and the end of the year, I'm gonna watch this movie. Is there a tradition movie like that you have?
The movies I have to watch are Die Hard, of course.
So you watch it every time this year?
Yes.
At this time of year. Okay.
Scrooged.
Okay.
Christmas Vacation. Home Alone 2. Krampus. And A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay. That's 8?
7.
Same again? Really fast?
Die Hard.
Yeah.
Now I forgot. Scrooged.
Okay.
Christmas Vacation. Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Krampus. And A Muppet Christmas Carol.
Okay. Of your 7, I've not seen 2.
Muppet Christmas Carol?
I've seen that.
Oh, you have seen that?
Yeah.
Krampus.
Correct.
And
the other one's a surprise, I think. I don't know why I didn't see this.
Home Alone 2?
No, that's the bird lady. That's the only thing I think of. And Trump's in that one, right?
Yes,
yeah. I don't remember that. I saw it, I think, once when it came out, which was what, a few years after, 4 or 5 years after?
Okay, so it's got Die Hard?
No.
Oh.
I've seen that.
Christmas. No, you've seen Christmas
Yeah.
Vacation. Home Alone.
No.
Scrooged.
Yeah.
Scrooged is such a good movie.
And I like Bill Murray. I don't know why I didn't see that. I mean, I didn't see it when it came out. That's usually the first. I mean, especially when movies used to be like this. So like when they came out, like, oh, I got to see that. And now it's, I'll see it, or I'll wait for it. But yeah, I didn't see it then, and it's on plenty. I don't know. Should I see it?
Yes.
Okay. It's a must see.
Must see.
Is it funnier or just a good movie? Because I feel like if it's Bill Murray, it's funny. That's why I don't know why I haven't seen
It's
it.
funny. It's good. It's a little dark.
And that's why you like it.
Yeah. But like, yeah, it's such a good movie. And it's one of those movies where each time you see it, it's like, man, it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
And then the wrestling podcast I listened to, they did on their Patreon a watch along to where they talk about it while they're watching it. So I make sure to listen to that as I watch it every year too.
What's interesting about like Christmas Vacation, I mean, I've said this before. I'm a big fan of Chevy Chase. I think he's always funny, even though apparently he's like an awful human being. I think it's okay. I like it.
Yeah.
But like of the vacation, a lot of people think that's the best vacation. I don't think it's the best vacation movie. I like the original a lot.
Yes.
And then Vegas sometimes. I don't know. Sometimes Vegas
I really
is
like
so
Vegas.
stupid funny, but sometimes like it gets me when it comes on. I'll watch that again. Mr. Papa George. What is it?
Nick Papa Giorgio from
Papa
Yuma,
Giorgio,
Arizona.
Yes. All right. So those are your kind of like, I'm going to watch them. Now we know that A Christmas Story is always on.
Do you know the story about that?
Christmas Story?
Like why it's on all the time?
No.
It was such a cheap movie because it wasn't popular at all.
Like I saw it when it came out because I was probably closer to that age of Ralphie. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be, or not Ralphie. What was the kid's name?
Ralphie, yeah, I think so.
Who was the son? I mean, the brother.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway,
but
Ralphie, that's right. Yeah.
It was a complete bomb at the box office.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
it
know
came
that.
out like right around Thanksgiving. It didn't make it to Christmas.
Okay.
Nobody liked it.
Wow.
And it was such a cheap like movie to like broadcast. TBS started doing like, oh, well, we're just going to show it 24 hours. And it's like as a way of like, we're not going to do programming.
Yeah,
we're going to
we'll
have
just fill
people
the
take
time.
the day off. Just like, oh, we're just going to do that. And that's how it built up and up and up.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody else out there has their movies that it's this time of year they've got to watch. My wife's really gotten into, man, the last couple of years, she loves Hallmark movies, like the Christmas movies.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, talk about a same kind of formula. I mean, they're a pleasant, there's a good message, but you're just kind of like, man, how many different ways
Did
can we make
you
the same
ever
movie?
see the Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig Lifetime movie?
Oh, wait, who?
I don't remember what it's called.
Okay, am I blending movies? Were they like Swedish?
No.
What's that one? Or he's like Danish? Like,
oh, I know.
he's
Yeah,
like
that's
a singer.
Eurovision.
Okay, were they singers?
It wasn't Kristen Wiig. I'm trying to think of who the other one was. It Emily Blunt?
Okay, but that's
Yeah,
not that. Okay,
it's not
I don't
that.
know why I was blending that. Okay, no, I don't think I did.
It was a Lifetime produced movie.
So are they trying to be legit or are they
It
poking
is
fun?
100%. I mean, like when you watch those movies, it's hilarious
Yeah.
because of how serious it is.
Yeah.
So that's where the humor is from it. But it's 100% done here, like
a Lifetime movie or
a
Hallmark
Lifetime movie. They
Okay.
are acting.
Uh-huh.
They're not trying to make jokes or anything like that. I think it's like Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig are married,
Mhm.
and then they have a babysitter come, and then like the babysitter turns out to be like a dark person.
Anything that's
And,
dark,
like, steals the baby.
Well, you could get that in there. Let's see. Christmas Vacation, Die Hard, Christmas with the Cranks, Grinch, Home Alone, according to some that they have to watch this time of year. Usually,
it's a good one. Like, it's not. I like to watch it, but it's not one of the ones I have to watch. Is Jingle All the Way.
Arnold?
Yeah,
I didn't see that one either. Is Sinbad in that?
Yeah.
I just right now having a tough time imagining those two in a movie together.
It is wild.
Is it?
And it's basically Sinbad doing like his stand-up routine.
Oh wow!
Like Carlos just like, oh yeah.
I don't have to watch these. I generally watch Elf at some point. It's usually on, and I don't start to finish, but if it's on, I usually watch that.
A lot of these things is just like where you are when you see it too, and it's like a comfort, type of thing.
Yeah,
like I'm trying to think, like someone could see like Home Alone. There could be someone like, I saw it as an adult. I didn't think it was that funny. It's like, well, you weren't.
But it's taking you back to maybe being a kid when you watched it the first time. Like It's a Wonderful Life, if it ends up on, usually, that's a way old movie, but still watch that every once in a while.
I've never seen it.
You haven't? Yeah. I wouldn't say you have to, but it's good.
Even though we made a parody Champ video of that movie.
Yes, but
because every TV show has done a parody of that movie.
I actually think there's some really good, like heartwarming rom-com, like if you care, like Love Actually is actually really good. What?
I knew you're a big Love Actually fan.
Really, have you seen it?
No.
See, you can't make fun of it.
I'm not making fun of you. It's just like so wild to hear you say like, oh, I really like Love Actually.
It is good. It's a really good story. I like family movies. Family Stone's pretty good. That one's fun.
There's someone, I read something recently where someone wrote a song for Love Actually called Love Actually. And it was like a big band that like wrote it. It was supposed to be in the movie, but they decided not to put it in there.
Someone's telling me I need to see Jingle All the Way.
No, it's a stupid movie.
If I'm watching, what do I need to watch more? Jingle All the Way. What's the other one you said?
Scrooged.
Krampus or Scrooged?
Scrooged.
What was the other one someone said? Christmas with the Cranks. I didn't see that.
I think I saw that. I don't remember.
Oh, here's one I thought you would have told me to see, and I didn't see also. Darn it. Billy Bob Thornton. Bad Santa?
Bad Santa. That, I don't think that was me.
Okay, do you like that?
I mean, it's fine.
I didn't see that one either. A lot of people like that movie.
I'm being told 4 Christmases.
To see that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Was with Vince Vaughn?
Yeah, I saw it. I don't remember. I think Reese Witherspoon. I saw it. I don't remember going. I remember being fine. Nothing that stood out about that one per se. Tonight, what to watch? I don't know. How are you going to spend your time, sports fans?
Oh, I got one.
What's that?
It's a TV show. It's not a movie. It's the Black Mirror Christmas episode.
Come on. What is that?
Oh, you know what Black Mirror is?
Oh, that. Yeah, I do know what that is.
It's kind of like a.
But it's a Christmas episode?
Yeah, John Hamm is in it.
Oh. John Hamm.
Yeah. Now, you want to talk about dark.
Yes. Let's see. Not a fan of Bad Santa. Okay, we got more people coming in on these things.
See, like with stuff like that, I still want like a Christmassy.
Yeah, I feel
feel
like
to the movie.
They don't seem to make too many of them per year, but I think we still need some more that kind of land in that genre of classics that we take for years and years and years to come. Tonight, you got options on Amazon. You can watch the Patriots and Steelers. Oof, that's a rough way to start Week 14 in the NBA, the in-season tournament. This is going to be starting in a couple of hours. The Pacers versus the Bucks, and then the Pelicans versus the Lakers.
You know what I'm going to be seeing today?
What's that?
Godzilla -1.
Oh, someone just put that on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where was that? Let me see if I can. Oh, if you care, it says Godzilla -1, Chris, is a great movie.
That's what I heard. Our guy, Joe Foft, he texted me the other day. He's like, oh, I just saw it. So I'll make a plan to see it today.
Okay. Great movie.
I love a Godzilla movie.
Okay. You'll have to give us a report tomorrow.
Will do.
All right. When we come back, Crosstalk with Styles and Watkins, plus celebrity birthdays, brought to you by our friends at Crumble Cookies. We'll wrap this edition up. That is next on Sactown Sports.
It's that time of year again. Sactown Sports is welcoming Santa back to town for the 40th annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 9th in downtown Sacramento. Grab the family and join us as we celebrate Santa's arrival with marching bands, superheroes, cheer squads, and more. Parade starts at 10 a.m. at 14th and N. We'll see you Saturday, December 9th in downtown for the Santa Parade with Western Health Advantage, Huff Home Services, and the California National Guard. Get more information at SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com. Amazon will be delivering packages to your house. Let Amazon deliver customers to your business. If that sounds good and you want more in 2024, simply text digital to 916-766-5105.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
What's up, guys?
Oh, not too much. How are you on this Thursday?
Yeah, is it raining out there on your drive-in or no?
No, if it was, I wouldn't have come in. I can't do it.
No rain.
No rain.
Yeah,
I'm
can't
out.
do it.
It's the worst.
We were talking. Chris is always our movie expert. What are you seeing today? Godzilla -1.
Yes. Why?
I like Godzilla.
Okay.
And he heard it was a great movie. Texters, YouTubers said, "Yeah, great movie." I'm like, "Great."
This is not Godzilla and Kong.
No,
it's -1.
This is the Japanese
-1.
Yeah, who's the
studio.
-1?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's called.
Yeah,
Godzilla -1.
Yeah, you know, I don't have that. What would it be? The gene of the crazy action movies. I didn't get that one. My dad has it, but I don't have it. The Fast and Furious. I stopped at Ludacris and Bow Wow. I stopped after that. I just don't have
Those are
it.
Chris's favorites.
Chris has a rankings of the 10 if you want to hear them.
I think I'm solid, but I'm glad that you have that.
Where are you guys? Do you have Christmas movies that you must see this time of year?
yes.
So like you always watch them?
Every year.
Elf has got to be up there for
Yeah,
sure.
I think that's
I've
pretty
got to
cool. I mean,
squeeze that in.
if I don't, it's fine, but I usually watch
Yeah.
it. But it's on a lot. It's like you
Just
pick it up.
watched a couple the other day. I'm trying to think what I watched.
It's-
Oh, the Grinch, the animated Grinch. I'm a big fan of.
Okay.
Like
Big
the
fan.
old school one?
No, the new one. The new one
okay.
with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
Really good. Really good.
I rock with Jim. I rock with Jim Carrey.
Watched that one as well the other day.
And for me,
Still holds up.
For me, there's only one. Turbo Man. It's
We were
Jingle
just
All the
talking
Way.
about that.
It's Jingle All the Way.
Oh, I was like, what's Turbo
I
Man?
know.
It might be. It's incredibly underrated.
Is Turbo Man Arnold or Sinbad? Or neither?
Technically both at some point. It's a great movie.
Great?
It's great. I watch it every year. I will make my 7-month-old daughter watch it this year.
I think it's also great, but I think we're talking about two different grades.
Well, here's the thing. I'm wondering. So you haven't seen it?
I don't like that.
I have no idea what
Chris and I haven't seen it. So I feel like, did you watch this as a kid?
Yes.
So with us not having the nostalgia kid part, watching it now,
does it hold up?
It is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, but I guess the thing is when you ask a question, hey, does it hold up? I feel like you can't ask that question unless you saw it during its time, right?
I guess. Well, not does it hold up? How would it land for us now? Never seeing it, and it's 30 years old. Going,
you've seen.
What are we watching?
I mean, I think for its time, you'd like it. It's out of bounds, but
sounds like a no.
It's out of bounds, but people are still watching Fast and
absolutely
Furious and King Kong. What are we talking about? It's turbo time.
I don't even know what
Check
that means.
Check the text line.
I want you to see it now.
Check the Sac chat. They know about turbo time. I'm telling you. Just wait. Just wait. A little bit longer.
The church scene?
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Well, I think they're climbing on top of the church, I think.
Okay.
What
Trust
movie
me.
is this?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let me lay it out for you quickly.
Yeah. Give me the elevator pitch.
Jingle All the Way is fire.
Thank you. So
Jingle All the
basically,
Way.
Jingle All the
Hartman's
Way
in it.
is about Arnold Schwarzenegger, his kid. Arnold Schwarzenegger is always busy, right? And he misses his kid's karate
You're
class.
my number one customer.
Yeah. And he says that to his kid. He's just a bad father. And the kid says, Dad, you can make up for everything. Just get me Turbo Man. Of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger does not get Turbo Man in time. His annoying neighbor, of course, has it. So he's looking for Turbo Man everywhere. And it's just him looking for this action figure the whole time. And Sinbad is also looking for Turbo Man. And they just randomly meet at a bar. And then they end up fighting over Turbo Man. And then they end up in a parade as the characters because Arnold Schwarzenegger's yoked. So they're fighting. It's hilarious. It's good stuff. I watch it every year. I might watch it twice.
For you and I.
Just for those who will not partake.
So is it just that movie? You have others that you have to?
That one and Jim Carrey's Grinch.
Okay.
Those are my two.
Turbo Man.
I like Christmas with the Cranks too.
Oh, that's the one I said.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Chris had a list of 7. I had seen 5 of the 7, but interesting.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that my guess is Chris has only seen
2.
Like 2.
The sequel.
That seems high.
Well,
You've seen Home Alone and Home
tell
Alone
him
2,
you're
right?
7.
Man.
No, he hasn't. Neither one? No?
No.
What?
No.
Tell him you're 7. See how many. See if we get.
Oh, then I don't think he's seen any
I've
of
seen
them.
like parts of Home Alone 1.
Okay.
Huh.
So what are your 7?
It is Die Hard,
Nope.
Scrooged,
Nope.
Home Alone,
Nope.
Home Alone 2,
Nope.
Christmas Vacation,
Nope.
Krampus,
No.
and Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah, we're over 7. Over 7. Over 7.
I had seen 5 of them. But
Well, remember,
Muppet
Chris is famously
Christmas?
not a movie person.
Not a movie
Right.
guy.
Or
music
or anything.
Yeah.
You know,
or pie guy.
Just sports guy.
did you
I am
see
going to go and watch all of those movies with a slice of pie.
there is
In
a
honor.
scene going around social media and it's about, I believe, Home Alone 1, where Kevin's dad throws away, they spill pizza
Yeah.
or they spill something, and when you look at it, when you slow it down, Kevin's ticket was actually thrown away.
Oh,
So
it's in
that's
there.
because everyone's talking about like how could they forget their kid like when they get to the airport when
Yeah.
like all the tickets are missing.
Ah,
In that scene, he accidentally throws it away.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you forget the kid twice?
They didn't
Was
forget
it
the
3
kid
times?
twice.
What they have 4 or 5? How many kids do they have? Didn't they have 6 or something?
Oh, they had a ton of
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
but
Ton.
They didn't forget him the second time. They took him to the airport, but they got split up.
Wrong
and he went
airport.
on the wrong airline.
Wrong.
That's more. The second time was more the airline's fault.
I got lost in a mall once. Terrible.
Classic.
You feel like a kid that would have gotten lost in the mall.
Isn't that terrifying? When
It
you're
was.
A kid?
Yeah. I remember that. I don't remember anything else
You
about
looking
being a
for
child. But
Turbo Man?
I was looking for Turbo Man. I didn't find him.
And then you get that, like, your parents are just like, you can't do that. What are you doing? And you're like,
Why are you yelling at me?
It's turbo time. It's turbo time.
Yes.
It's turbo time.
I saw something shiny in the store. I had to go find it.
Jason, you're gonna watch. I can tell you.
I'm actually intrigued based on what you guys are selling.
There you go.
We'll see if it works.
If you don't like it, don't tell me.
What if I like it?
Then tell me.
Okay.
I said I liked it, and Alan didn't like that. I said I liked it.
Whatever. You named off 7.
And he probably like Chris likes it for a different reason. I'm not sure what the reason is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, once you see it.
All right, it's time now for Celebrity Birthdays, brought to you by our friends at Crumble Cookies. Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than Crumble Cookies. Well, let's keep our movie theme going. What year was Edward Scissorhands out?
I'm going to guess 1991.
You go 89.
Oh, wow. I was not going to go that early. I'll say 93.
All right, we got a tie between you guys. 1990. How about Ocean's 11?
That came out in 2001.
Yeah,
I was
definitely
gonna
03.
Definitely 03.
I'll say 2000.
2000, 2001, 2003. We have a correct answer. It's Chris Verlade, 2001. He said it with conviction.
I know.
All right, let's get some birthdays. Happy birthday to Larry.
The cable guy.
That's David.
Fitzgerald.
David.
Wow. Larry, we'll go another round.
The cable guy.
So don't have
Larry David. Did you already say
Yeah,
that?
I did.
Larry O'Brien.
Larry Holmes.
A really famous Larry we're missing.
Larry Johnson.
Bird.
There we go. Happy birthday to Larry Bird. How old is Larry Bird today?
We'll say 68.
68.
71.
65.
Chris Watkins for the win. 67 for Larry Bird.
Legend. Wow.
Happy birthday to T.O. Terrell Owens. We talked about him a little bit earlier. How old's T.O. today?
How old does he think he is?
Yes. He's making a comeback. He's
Right.
starting this week. I put him in my fantasy lineup.
He's definitely one of those guys who's like, I could still run a 4.45.
Oh, yeah.
Can.
Oh, remember, didn't he do something where he filmed himself?
Just like I say recently, it was probably within like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
T.O. I don't know. 44?
Okay.
I'll say 47.
I'm going to say 49.
No.
Chris Verlade for the win. He's 50.
Wow.
Yeah. And he still can play.
Wow.
He could still.
He probably
Happy
still could.
birthday. Let's go with Pete.
Carol.
Davidson.
Buddha Judge.
Pete Alonso. How old is Pete Alonso
The
today?
polar bear. He bugs me a
Judge.
little bit. He just shows up for the home run derby, then
But he
goes
mashes.
away. He does.
Yeah.
Maybe playoffs.
He might be 28. 28.
Might be.
I'll say 30.
Okay.
I'll say 29.
There's a correct answer, and it's right in the middle. 29.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to throw a name out. I'm not sure you're going to be able to guess the last name. Happy birthday, Yasiel.
Week.
How old's Yasiel Puig today?
No, he was ahead of his time, by the way. He really was.
Yeah.
The whole bat flipping and everything. A tough go for him. Yasiel Puig, at this point, is probably 34.
Yeah. 32.
36.
You guys tied. 33.
Wow.
We'll finish with happy birthday, Johnny.
Carson.
Gil.
Manziel.
Manziel was yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrating
Double
again.
birthday.
Johnny Bench is how old today?
Ooh,
Ah.
90.
87.
81.
Johnny Bench is 76 today.
Yes.
All right, Johnny.
Way to go.
Sorry, John.
90. All right. Thank you, everybody. Styles and Watkins coming your way next.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give